Chapter 361. However, it was useless. Zhao Tao's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy bombarded the primal chaos lightning dragon's body. With a loud boom, the primal chaos lightning dragon shot out layers upon layers of primal chaos lightning dragon. Zhao Tao's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy were completely useless in front of the primal chaos lightning dragon. When the experts of the Jade Water Palace saw that their palace master's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy were completely useless in front of the primal chaos lightning dragon, they couldn't help but be shocked. Amidst their shock, the 10,000 overgod experts of the Jade Water Palace frantically activated the laws within their bodies and bombarded the primal chaos lightning dragon. Zhao Yunyan and the water-attributed overgods even activated the Jade Water Chilling Sky Formation with all their might, attacking the primal chaos lightning dragon, as if their lives depended on it. They attempted to stop the primal chaos lightning dragon's advance. However, it was still useless. The 10,000 overgod experts of the Jade Water Palace gathered the laws of water, earth, wind, metal and lightning and bombarded the primal chaos lightning dragon. The primal chaos lightning dragon only trembled slightly, but it still continued to flood the Jade Water Palace. The primal chaos lightning dragon was like a vast ocean, while the attacks of the Jade Water Palace's 10,000 overgod experts were like boulders smashing into the ocean. They were completely useless. Zhao Yunyan and the water-attributed overgods activated the Jade Water Chilling Sky Formation to condense an ice dragon once more, and collided with the primal chaos lightning dragon once more. Lightning exploded and ice shards flew all over the sky. The ice dragon exploded once more, while the primal chaos lightning dragon continued to bombard the Jade Water Palace with unstoppable momentum. The experts of the Jade Water Palace turned pale with fright as they watched the unstoppable primal chaos lightning dragon. Lord Kongling and the Lords of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, please help us. Zhao Tao roared in terror. The Jade Water Palace will definitely remember this great kindness. Kongling hesitated for a moment, then shouted at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. The Jade Water Palace is subordinate to my Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Please stay your hands. However, Taurus Longjiao turned a deaf ear to him, controlling the primal chaos lightning dragon to continue bombarding the Jade Water Palace. Rumble! The primal chaos lightning dragon slammed into the Jade Water Chilling Sky Formation's energy barrier. A loud explosion that shook the sky. The Jade Water Chilling Sky Formation shattered instantly. The primordial chaos lightning dragon roared and blasted into the Jade Water Palace. The sovereigns of the Jade Water Palace fled in terror, but they were instantly devoured by the primordial chaos lightning dragon. Zhao Tao looked at the primal chaos lightning dragon, and an umbrella appeared in his hand. Lightning flashed on the umbrella, and it was covered with all kinds of lightning runes. Thunder Mirror Umbrella. With Zhao Tao's lightning attribute energy, the lightning mirror umbrella spewed out lightning and formed a lightning mirror in front of him. At the same time, he shouted at his daughter, Zhao Yunyan, use the lightning escape divine talisman. Zhao Yunyan came back to her senses, and a divine talisman appeared in her hand. She crushed the lightning escape divine talisman, and the power of the lightning escape divine talisman enveloped her and Zhao Tao. It tore apart the void around them and brought them away. However, the two of them discovered that the torn space had suddenly solidified and was actually mending itself. The chaotic thunder dragon struck the thunder mirror umbrella. When the lightning mirror umbrella opened, Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan felt their bodies stiffen as they were thrown into the air. The primordial chaos lightning dragon roiled and devoured all the experts of the Jade Water Palace. Then it plowed through the air above the Jade Water Palace and blasted towards the other side of the Jade Water Island. On the other side, huge waves rose up from the sea. It was as if a huge path had been plowed through the sea, leading to an extremely distant island. In the end, the primordial chaos lightning dragon slammed into the island. Mountains crumbled and the earth cracked. The island, which was like a small continent, crumbled and turned into countless rocks that sank to the bottom of the overgod sea. Because the primordial chaos lightning dragon wasn't attacking Kongling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, Kongling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect barely managed to dodge the primordial chaos lightning dragon's attack. Even so, Kongling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect were scared out of their wits when they saw the primordial chaos lightning dragon roiling past them and felt the terrifying primordial chaos lightning dragon's aura. After a long time, the shattered island finally sank to the bottom of the sea. Occasionally, dust and smoke would rise from the bottom of the sea. Apart from Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan, the other experts of the Jade Water Palace had disappeared. There were only a few fragments of divine armors on the surface of the sea. Under the power of a peak rank 13 primordial chaos mandate, the overgods of the Jade Water Palace were annihilated. Even their totems and heavenly wills were blasted to smithereens. Kong Ling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect couldn't help but shudder when they saw the overgods of the Jade Water Palace being annihilated. Although the overgods of the Jade Water Palace were only overgods who had comprehended a single element of power, they were still genuine overgods. Yet, they were annihilated in a single blow. Kong Ling's expression turned ugly at the same time. Lu Yiping pulled the lightning mirror umbrella to him with a single hand. The lightning mirror umbrella was a supreme-grade innate spiritual treasure that was infinitely close to an innate supreme treasure. Its power wasn't weak at all. Moreover, judging from the lightning symbols on it, it should be a lightning attribute divine artifact of the primordial heavenly quartz lightning division. It was a pity that Zhao Tao was too weak to fully utilize the lightning mirror umbrella's power. Before Lu Yiping could do anything, Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan were brought before Lu Yiping. Zhao Yunyan glared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. Lu Yiping, the Imba race is far stronger than the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Even 10,000 Thousand Souls Divine Sects wouldn't be a match for the Imba race. You will regret this. Lu Yiping raised a finger and pointed at Zhao Yunyan. Zhao Yunyan and the space around her were blasted into nothingness. Zhao Tao glared at Lu Yiping with hatred in his eyes. Lu Yiping took out a fragment of Zhao Tao's soul, studied it, and crushed him to death. Kong Ling watched as Zhao Yunyan and Zhao Tao were killed by Lu Yiping. Zhao Yunyan's last words proved that the Jade Water Palace's people were from the Imba race. No one knew how strong the Imba race was, but in the past tens of millions of years, the divine world had seen many great wars, and the shadow of the Imba race was always behind them. In the divine world, if there was a race strong enough to influence the entire divine world, it was the Imba race. Half a day later, inside the extraordinary divine sect's main hall, Yang Su stared at the report in disbelief. According to the report, half a day ago, the Jade Water Palace was destroyed by Lu Yiping and his Golden Retriever subordinates. His subordinate Lin Qing was also shocked after reading the report. Although the Jade Water Palace was weaker than the extraordinary divine sect, it was still one of the three major forces in the Overgod Sea. The Jade Water Palace had 10,000 Overgod Realm experts, and even the extraordinary divine sect didn't dare to say that they could destroy the Jade Water Palace because of the Jade Water freezing sky formation. Do you know what happened during the battle? Yang Su asked one of his subordinates. That expert stammered. According to the people on the surrounding islands, they saw 6 incomparably huge chaos heavens wills, and each one was 139,999 li long. You mean to say that Lu Yiping's heaven's wills are 139,999 li long? Yang Su couldn't believe it. Are you sure it's 139,999 li long? Chapter 362. 139,999 li. The expert replied with certainty. Many experts around the Jade Water Palace saw it and confirmed it repeatedly. He hesitated for a moment before continuing, however. It's not Lu Yiping's mandate, but Lu Yiping's subordinate, the Golden Retriever. What? Lu Yiping's subordinate, the Golden Retriever's mandate, is a rank 13 chaos mandate. Moreover, it's a peak rank 13 chaos mandate. Yang Su couldn't believe it. Yes, the expert stammered. At that time, Lu Yiping's subordinate used 6 rank 13 chaos mandates to activate the Chaos Lightning Dragon and annihilate all the overgods in the Jade Water Palace. Even with Zhao Tao's lightning mirror umbrella, he couldn't stop the 6 chaos wills. Yang Su, Lin Qing, and the rest were stunned for a long time. A peak rank 13 chaos mandate had appeared in the divine world, but the opponent was Lu Yiping's subordinate. This Lu Yiping's mandate can't be a peak rank 13 chaos mandate as well, right? Lin Qing stuttered. Yang Su's heart skipped a beat, and his breathing quickened. If Lu Yiping's mandate was also a peak rank 13 chaos mandate, then wouldn't this master and servant have 2 peak rank 13 chaos mandates? The news that Liu Yiping had destroyed the Jade Water Palace and the dragon-horned Golden Bull's 6 chaos wheels quickly spread. The Overgod Sea was naturally shaken. After Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao destroyed the Jade Water Palace, they didn't destroy the palace itself. Instead, they expanded and strengthened the Jade Water Palace's grand formation. At the same time, they set up a myriad things divine gathering formation to gather primordial spiritual energy. Afterward, Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stayed in the Jade Water Palace and had Song Song, Tianshou, Chongliang, and the rest moved their caves to the Jade Water Island for them to cultivate. The Jade Water Island was undoubtedly many times better than the Spirit Turtle Island. Nightfall. In the dead of night, Liu Yiping stood in the air above the Jade Water Palace, gazing at the night sky. The night sky was deep and twinkling with stars. The sea around Blue Water Island was illuminated by the starlight, tranquil and dreamy. From Zhao Tao's memory fragments, Liu Yiping learned that the person who connected the Jade Water Palace and the Yinyang Boar race was a person called Tian Hong. Tian Hong was a sovereign of fire, wind, and water. However, Zhao Tao was not very clear about Tian Hong's identity. Every time Tian Hong came to see him, his entire body was enveloped in demonic light, and his appearance could not be seen clearly. Zhao Tao only knew that Tian Hong came from the Fanyu continent. The Brahma Moon continent was vast and boundless. The main God Ocean was equivalent to hundreds of Blood Devil continents, but the Brahma Moon continent was many times bigger than the main God Ocean. The headquarters of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect was located in the Brahma Moon continent. The Brahma Moon continent was huge. Finding a person was like finding a needle in a haystack. Therefore, Liu Yiping decided to stay on Jade Water Island and wait for Tian Hong. Tian Hong would come to the Jade Water Palace every few days. In the following days, Liu Yiping spent almost every day in the Jade Water Palace comprehending the Jade Disc of Fortune and cultivating the immortal Skywood art and longevity art. While Liu Yiping was comprehending the Jade Disc of Fortune, experts from all over the main God Ocean came to visit. They just wanted to get to know Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Liu Yiping did not meet the experts who came to visit. He only let Song Song deal with them. On this day, Liu Yiping came to the Jade Water Palace's treasury. Zhao Tao had obtained the lightning mirror umbrella from a lightning sea 1,000,000 years ago. At the time, Zhao Tao had also obtained a piece of lightning jade. Zhao Tao could not find anything from it, so he had kept it in the Jade Water Palace's treasury. The lightning mirror umbrella was a divine artifact of the ancient heavenly court. Therefore, that piece of lightning jade might have recorded some information about the ancient heavenly court. The Jade Water Palace was one of the 3 major forces in the Southern Sea. Naturally, its treasury was rich. However, Liu Yiping did not care about the treasures, chaos spirit stones, and other materials in the treasury. He walked straight to the piece of lightning jade. The lightning jade was several zhang tall and several meters wide. Its surface was smooth, and there were no runes on it. However, there were traces of lightning qi inside the jade. It was as if there was a world of lightning inside the jade. Liu Yiping looked at the lightning jade in front of him. He activated his eye of lightning punishment and directly penetrated the restrictions on the surface of the lightning jade. He arrived at the world of lightning inside the jade. The world of lightning inside the jade was huge. Lightning flashed everywhere, and Huang Xiaolong could not see the end of it. Liu Yiping's eye of lightning punishment pierced through the layers of lightning and reached the deepest part of the world of lightning. Lightning dragons swam in the deepest part of the world of lightning. These lightning dragons were formed from various kinds of lightning runes. After Liu Yiping's deduction, these lightning dragons combined and arranged themselves, forming a series of lightning runes. Half an hour later, Liu Yiping retrieved the Eye of Lightning Punishment. 7 Treasures Island. Liu Yiping read aloud. The lightning runes recorded on this piece of lightning jade were left behind by the strongest leader of the ancient Heavenly Court's lightning division. However, there were 2 pieces of lightning jade, and this was only one of them. In the past, this piece of lightning jade was found by Zhao Tao in a certain lightning sea on the 7 Treasures Island. Liu Yiping speculated that there should be another piece of lightning jade on the 7 Treasures Island. The lightning jade mentioned Jianshu and the Buzhou Mountain. Therefore, Liu Yiping wanted to make a trip to the 7 Treasures Island. Liu Yiping refined the lightning jade and stored it in the universe cauldron. The next day he left the Jadewater Palace with Taurus Longjiao. The Seven Treasures Island was the #1 island in the main Spirit Sea. On the Seven Treasures Island was the #1 force in the main Spirit Sea, the Seven Treasures Divine Sect. By the time Lu Yiping and Zhao Tao arrived at the Seven Treasures Island, it was already late at night. Although it was late at night, the Seven Treasures Island was still bustling with activity. People came and went, carriages shuttled through, and flying ships came and went. The Lightning Sea was the inner sea of the Seven Treasures Island, located to the south of the island. Who are you? A Seven Treasures Divine Sect expert looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao in bewilderment, saying, "We are from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect. Junior brother Chen Kai acted rashly and I apologize to you on his behalf. I hope that you won't hold a grudge against this lowly person and let him go." Taurus Longjiao sneered, "Let him go?" His halberd attack just now contained 32 types of wind-type energy. If I were an ordinary sovereign of Heaven's mandate, I would have been killed by him long ago. Another expert from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect couldn't help but ask, "What do you mean?" Taurus Longjiao looked at the Seven Treasures Divine Sect expert who was still spinning and sneered. "He will stop in a month's time." With that, he and Lu Yiping continued flying towards the mountainside. Of course, in a month's time, his divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate will all be shattered. In the end, even his divine soul will be shattered. Zhongzhong of the Seven Treasures Divine Sect was shocked and furious. If his divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate were all shattered, he would become a cripple. If his divine soul was shattered, he would die without a doubt. Not only did this golden retriever want to kill their Seven Treasures Divine Sect's ancestor, Chen Kai, he also wanted to cripple him before he died. However, looking at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao leaving, the Seven Treasures Divine Sect experts didn't dare to stop them. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao passed through the Thunder Firmament Array and entered the mountain. Their figures disappeared into the lightning on the mountain. Quick report to Lord Zhengqing. Zhengqing was the strongest expert from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect who came to the Violent Sea. He was a dual-element overgod of water and fire. He had comprehended 61 types of water element energy and 73 types of fire element energy. Somewhere in the Violent Sea, Zhengqing was leading another group of Seven Treasures Divine Sect experts to search for the culprit. While they were searching with their divine souls, they received a distress signal from Chen Kai's group. When Zhengqing saw the distress signal, he couldn't help but be surprised. The Golden Retriever's muscular man? What's wrong? Zhang Yun, who was standing beside Zhengqing, asked. Zhengqing handed the signal to Zhang Yun. Zhang Yun's face sank when he saw it. 1 month later, he shattered junior brother Chen Kai's divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate. Finally, he shattered his divine soul. His eyes were filled with killing intent. This person is courting death. Zhengqing said even junior brother Lu, who has 56 types of metal element energy, couldn't break that wind blade. This person's strength is definitely not simple. I'm afraid he's even stronger than the culprit. We can't be careless. Zhang Yun frowned. Then what do we do now? Go save Chen Kai first? Stop searching for the culprit? Let the other teams continue searching for the culprit. Zhengqing pondered for a moment, then added, "We'll go take a look at Chen Kai." Thus Zhengqing and Zhang Yun led the Seven Treasures Divine Sect's disciples in the direction of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. An hour later Zhengqing, Zhang Yun, and the others arrived and saw Chen Kai still spinning on the spot. Zhengqing and Zhang Yun exchanged a glance as they watched Chen Kai's spinning body surrounded by wind blades. Both of them saw the shock in each other's eyes. Zhengqing and Zhang Yun stepped forward, stopping in front of Chen Kai. Zhang Yun's energy surged as the power of Earth Law gathered around his body, forming waves of earth. Then he walked towards Chen Kai. However, the moment he got close to the wind blades, the waves of earth around him were sliced apart, and the terrifying wind blades rushed towards him. Zhang Yun dodged in a panic, retreating again and again. By the time he had retreated to a safe distance and barely dodged the wind blades, he felt a chill on the top of his head. Strands of hair fell to the ground as a large chunk of his head was sliced off. Zhengqing's face turned solemn. Although Zhang Yun was only an earth element over God, He had comprehended 87 types of earth element energy. Yet, even Zhang Yun couldn't break through the wind blades. The power of the wind blades exceeded Zhang Qing's expectations. Chapter 364. This wind blade contains 90 types of wind element force? One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts guessed. Zhang Qing shook his head. I'm afraid it's more than that. More than that. Everyone was bewildered hearing this. Although the 7 treasures divine sect was the #1 sect in the main spirit sea realm, there weren't many ancestors who possessed more than 90 types of wind element force. Which direction did they go? Zhang Qing asked, pointing at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lord Zhang Qing, they entered that mountain peak. One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts quickly reported. Zhang Qing and Zhang Yun looked at the thunder crystal iron mountain in front of them. This mountain peak is made of purple water lightning iron? Zhang Yun asked doubtfully. Zhang Qing also looked at the mountain peak in front of him with doubt. This mountain peak seemed to be made of purple water lightning iron, but it also didn't seem to be. He flew towards the mountain peak trying to get close to it. Suddenly, the lightning energy on the mountain peak turned violent, turning into a sea of lightning, striking at him. Zhang Qing was startled. The long sword in his hand slashed out. Lightning flashed. Zhang Qing staggered back from the impact. His palm hurt, and the long sword in his hand almost flew out. Zhang Qing only managed to stop after retreating several hundred meters. The 7 treasures divine sex experts were shocked. This is the firmament lightning formation. Zhang Yun's face tightened. Firmament lightning formation? Could it be the firmament lightning formation from the primordial era? Another ancestor exclaimed. But we clearly saw that when those 2 people entered the mountain peak, they were not attacked by the firmament lightning formation. One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts said. What did you say? When they entered the mountain peak, the firmament lightning formation did not attack them? Zhang Qing was stunned. Yes. The 7 treasures divine sex expert nodded, then recounted the scene of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entering the mountain peak. Zhang Qing, Zhang Yun and the rest were baffled. They could see that the firmament lightning formation was one with the mountain peak. As long as they approached the mountain peak, they would be attacked by the formation. But why didn't it attack Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao? Lord Zhang Qing, what do we do now? Zhang Yun asked Zhang Qing. A 7 treasures divine sect expert suddenly said. The blue-robed young man, he can't be Lu Yiping, right? Everyone's expression changed, including Zhang Qing. Lu Yiping. Zhang Qing stuttered. Ever since Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had destroyed the Jadewater Palace, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had basically become a taboo for the various major powers in the Overgod Sea. Even a sect as strong as the 7 treasures divine sect did not dare to disregard Lu Yiping and Lu Xian. At this moment, a light flashed on the mountain peak, and 2 figures, one blue and one gold, walked out. Upon seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, Zhang Qing, Zhang Yun, and the others instinctively retreated. Zhang Qing suppressed the shock in his heart and stepped forward with cupped fists. He respectfully asked Lu Yiping, "May I ask if you are Lord Lu?" Taurus Longjiao looked at the restless Zhang Qing and the others and said, "What? Do you want revenge?" Cold sweat broke out on Zhang Qing's forehead as he waved his hand repeatedly. Lord misunderstands. Chun Kai and the others didn't know Lord's identity and offended Lord. They deserved to die. We had no intention of offending Lord. Lu Yiping suddenly asked, "Have you caught the murderer?" Zhang Qing was stunned. He did not expect Lu Yiping to suddenly ask about the murderer. Not yet. Zhang Qing answered cautiously, guessing Lu Yiping's intention for asking about the murderer. I heard that the murderer might be an expert from the Purple Extreme Devil race. Lu Yiping asked. Purple Extreme Devil race? Zhang Qing finally understood that Lu Yiping wanted to know more about the Purple Extreme Devil race. It should be the Purple Extreme Devil race, but we can't be sure. Zhang Qing answered respectfully. Are you familiar with the Purple Extreme Devil race? Lu Yiping asked about the Purple Extreme Devil race. Zhang Qing shook his head. 1,000,000 years ago, the Purple Extreme Devil race suddenly went into hiding, leaving no traces behind. Suddenly, he added, maybe Old Monster Black Wind knows something about the Purple Extreme Devil race. Old Monster Black Wind? Lu Yiping was confused. Yes, Sung Qing quickly explained. I heard that Old Monster Black Wind's master is one of the Purple Extreme Devil race's ancestors. Sung Qing then told Lu Yiping about Old Monster Black Wind, telling Lu Yiping everything he knew in detail. A short while later, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stepped into the air and left. Before leaving, Lu Yiping uprooted the entire lightning crystal mountain and put it away. Sung Qing, Zhang Yun, and the rest watched as Lu Yiping and Old Monster Black Wind left. Sung Qing looked at Chen Kai, who was still spinning. He hesitated for a moment, then took out his communication talisman and reported to the Seven Treasures Divine Sect Chief. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left, they did not leave the Lightning Sea. Instead, they continued to search for the Seven Treasures Divine Sect's murderer. The next day in a lightning valley, Lu Yiping finally found the culprit. However, to Lu Yiping's disappointment, the culprit only cultivated a devil race cultivation method similar to the Purple Extreme Devil races, but not the Purple Extreme Devil races. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao then returned to the Jade Water Palace. On the way, Lu Yiping refined the second lightning jade he found, and the lightning rune was finally complete. In this complete lightning rune, other than the records related to Jianshu and Mount Buzhou, it also recorded the Purple Firmament Lightning Grand Extinguishing Formation and many lightning element formations from the primordial era. There were also the cultivation experiences of the primordial Heavenly Court's Thunder Division's strongest leader. These cultivation experiences were not bad, but they were of no use to Lu Yiping. However, although there were records related to Jianshu and Mount Buzhou in the lightning rune, they were only fragmentary words. Therefore, Lu Yiping could not deduce the exact location of Jianshu and Mount Buzhou's main body. Even so, Lu Yiping learned from this lightning rune that the primordial Heavenly Court's destruction was related to the Inbora race. However, other than the Inbora race, there was also the primordial Tongbi Divine Ape race. The Tongbi Divine Ape race. Lu Yiping muttered. The Tongbi Divine Ape race was the strongest demonic beast race in the primordial era. They possess boundless strength and astonishing defense. Subsequently, Lu Yiping contacted the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Battle Tower Branch's President Long Tianxi, asking him to inquire about Old Monster Black Wind's whereabouts. A month later, Long Tianxi replied to Lu Yiping that he had found Old Monster Black Wind's whereabouts. Fanhua Continent, Rong Family. The True Dragon Chamber of Commerce had found out that Old Monster Black Wind was currently hiding in the Rong family. The Rong family, like the Sui family, was one of the few superfamilies in the Fanhua continent. Since they knew that Old Monster Black Wind was hiding in the Rong family, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Jade Water Palace and headed to the Fanhua continent. The two traveled without stopping. After crossing the Master God Sea and dozens of continents, they finally arrived at the Fanhua continent's Rongzhou City. Rongzhou City, the Rong family's main residence. It was already noon when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao explained their purpose of visit to the Rong family's guards, the guards looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao in confusion. You're looking for Captain Bai? Old Monster Black Wind was hiding in the Rong family. His alias was Bai Fei, and he was now a captain of the Rong family's guards. Chapter 365. Lu Yiping didn't bother to ask anymore. His eyes flashed as he controlled the guard's mind. Soon he found out where Black Wind Old Monster Bai Fei was. Red Moon Forest. From the guard, he learned that Black Wind Old Monster Bai Fei had gone to Red Moon Forest with Rong Ping yesterday to hunt beasts. Immediately, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao went to Red Moon Forest. Red Moon Forest was the largest forest in the Fanhua continent. Demonic beasts thrived there, and it was a good place for many disciples to hunt beasts. Rong Ping often went there to hunt beasts. Occasionally, she would invite some friends to hunt beasts together. This time she invited Sui Zihan from the Sui family. Sui Zihan had a high status in the Sui family. He was Sui Tai's nephew, and also one of the most talented disciples in the Sui family. Somewhere in the Red Moon Forest, Sui Zihan suddenly struck out with his palm and sent a tiger-shaped beast flying. When the tiger-shaped beast landed on the ground, it was already a charred corpse. Rong Ping clapped and smiled. Brother Zihan, you must have cultivated your fire element to perfection, right? No matter which element, comprehending 99 types of power was considered perfection. Sui Zihan smiled. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to be taught by Uncle Tai and cultivated my fire element to perfection. When Rongping heard Sui Tai, her face was full of admiration. Lord Tai must have cultivated 10 elements to perfection, right? Sui Zihan smiled. I'm not sure. Uncle Tai hasn't fought in a long time. However, my father said that Uncle Tai should have cultivated water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, and light to perfection. Now, he has comprehended the time element. Rongping said, in the current God realm in terms of talent, I'm afraid only Wen Yufeng can be compared to Lord Tai. With Lord Tai's talent, he can probably cultivate all 13 laws to perfection and enter the realm of perfection. If one cultivated all 13 elements to 99 types of power, they would be called perfection. However, from the immemorial era until now, there were less than 10 overgods who could cultivate to perfection in 100 million years. How many geniuses were born in a continent in 100 million years? How many monstrous geniuses were born in the god realm? However, there were no more than 10 people who had managed to cultivate all 13 laws to 99 powers. This showed just how difficult it was to cultivate all 10 laws to 99 powers. Not to mention the fact that all 13 elements had been cultivated to the 99th level. Even those who had cultivated the first 10 elements to the 99th level could be counted on one's fingers. Sui Zihan smiled and said, Uncle will definitely be able to cultivate 13 elements to perfection. When one was at the Master God realm, the higher one's cultivation of the laws, the more one would have. The moment one stepped into the God Emperor realm, the number of avatars one could condense would increase, and each avatar would be stronger. Rongping and Sui Zihan hunted a few more demonic beasts before they stopped and rested on the flat ground at the foot of the mountain. While the two of them were resting, they suddenly saw two figures, one blue and one gold, walking over from the ground in the distance. The two of them didn't walk quickly, but in the blink of an eye, they arrived in front of Rongping, Sui Zihan, and the others. Rongping and Sui Zihan were stunned. Although they didn't know why these two people were looking for them, they could tell that they were here for them. The Rong family and Sui family's guards immediately stepped forward, blocking Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's path. Who are you? What business do you have with us? Sui Zihan stood up, staring fixedly at Lu Yiping and Sui Zihan. Lu Yiping didn't answer. His gaze fell on one of the guards beside Rongping, asking, You're Bai Fei? No one expected Lu Yiping to be looking for the captain of Rongping's guards. Bai Fei looked at Lu Yiping in confusion. I am Bai Fei, who are you? What business do you have with me? You're old monster Black Wind, right? Taurus Longjiao grinned, alias Bai Fei, hiding in the Rong family as the captain of the guards. You've concealed yourself well. At least the Rong family didn't discover your identity. Bai Fei's face sank. You're mistaken. I'm not the old monster Black Wind you're talking about. I'm just someone the Rong family rescued from the roadside to repay their kindness. Rongping looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, barking, I don't care who you are, or what grudges you have with Bai Fei in the past. Bai Fei is now my Rong family's captain of guards. You can leave now. If you don't blame us for being rude. However, just as her words fell, Taurus Longjiao reached out his hand, grabbing Bai Fei. Rongping's face sank at this. Seeing Taurus Longjiao make a move, the Rong family's guards also made a move. These guards weren't weak. Although they were all overgods of one law, they had comprehended more than 70 kinds of laws. Their strength wasn't below dragon pagodas. 30 people made a move at the same time, their power of laws surging. Taurus Longjiao ignored these Rong family guards and continued to grab Bai Fei. Bai Fei's face turned cold as he slashed out with the saber in his hand. The power of wind whistled, and within the power of wind, the power of darkness surged. This Bai Fei was a wind over god and a darkness over god. This was where the name Old Monster Black Wind came from. Moreover, he had cultivated to 90 kinds of laws in both laws. He was close to perfection in both laws. Taurus Longjiao looked at Bai Fei's incoming saber and casually flicked it. The power of wind and darkness in the saber exploded, and the saber shattered into countless pieces. Bai Fei was caught by Taurus Longjiao. The attacks of the 30 overgod guards landed on Taurus Longjiao at the same time. A loud boom rang out. Taurus Longjiao's body was covered in lightning, but he didn't move an inch. The 30 overgod guards were sent flying by a powerful force, smashing into the mountain behind. What? Rong Yiping, Sui Zihan, and the Sui family guards were shocked when they saw the group of Rong family guards being sent flying. Taurus Longjiao grabbed Bai Fei and brought him in front of him. Bai Fei looked at Taurus Longjiao with fear in his eyes. Let's go, Lu Yiping said and was about to leave with Taurus Longjiao. However, just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were about to leave, a figure flashed and blocked their path. It was Sui Zihan of the Sui family. Sui Zihan looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. It's not appropriate for the two of you to take him away like this. I am Sui Zihan of the Sui family, and Sui Tai is my uncle. However, before he could finish, Lu Yiping flicked his finger and sent him flying. Looking at Sui Zihan, who had fallen to the end of the flat ground, Rong Ping and the Sui family's experts were stunned. When they came back to their senses, the Sui family's guards were enraged. They rushed up and attacked Lu Yiping. Taurus Longjiao saw this and casually punched out. All of a sudden, the Sui family's guards suffered a heavy blow, and all of them were sent flying like broken leaves, vomiting blood. Therefore, when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao absorbed the profound yellow qi, it was unavoidable. The night passed. Lu Yiping and Lu Yiping stopped cultivating. Lu Yiping looked at the primal chaos qi within the Xianhuang qi. This primal chaos qi wasn't of much use to him, but devouring it would affect his cultivation of the longevity art and immortal skywood art. Therefore, he had to find more pieces of the builder tree as soon as possible so that the builder tree could grow to 300,000 meters. At that time, the remaining chaotic qi would all be converted into Xianhuang qi. That way, he would not have to worry about devouring the chaotic qi. I wonder how far the tree will grow before it bears fruit. Taurus Longjiao sighed as he looked at the towering tree in front of him. The Jianshu had now grown to 210,000 meters, but there was still no sign of it bearing fruit. Lu Yiping was one with Jianshu, so he knew about Jianshu's growth. He said, about 400,000 meters. What? It has to grow to 400,000 meters to bear fruit? The dragon-horn golden bull was shocked. Lu Yiping nodded. The builder tree was the #1 divine tree in the myriad worlds. Once it bore fruit, its fruit would be earth-shattering. Lu Yiping was also looking forward to the day when the builder tree bore fruit. After putting away the builder tree, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stood up and planned to head to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch. Although he had already asked Long Tianxi to help him find the builder tree in Buzhou Mountain Stone, Long Tianxi was only the president of a small fighting K-City branch. He didn't have enough power and status. Therefore, he planned to go to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch. The Burning Moon Continent was the main continent of the God World's upper world. It was the most important continent among the tens of thousands of continents and countless seas. The president of the Burning Moon Continent branch led all of Long Tianxi's branches. If he went to the Burning Moon Continent branch, the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce would place more importance on his request. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Red Moon Forest and headed toward Red Moon City. The True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch was in Red Moon City. Red Moon City was very big and prosperous. Not only did the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch in Red Moon City, but many other chambers of commerce's branches in the Burning Moon Continent were also in Red Moon City. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao appeared in Red Moon City, Sui Zihan received a report. Red Moon City. Sui Zihan smiled indifferent, then led a group of experts from the Sui family to Red Moon City. After he told his father about the Red Moon Forest yesterday, his father Sui Juanru had sent a large group of Yi family experts over. Among these experts, the weakest was a 3-element over god. There were even 4-element over gods and 5-element over gods. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the city, they went straight to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. When they arrived, they didn't waste any time and went to the front desk to state their purpose. After Lu Yiping displayed his shocking wealth, the person in charge immediately reported it to their president. Soon, the president of the Burning Moon Continent, Xie Yun, came out and invited Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao into the inner hall. Not long after Xie Yun invited Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao into the inner hall, Sui Zihan led several hundred experts from the Sui family into the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Chapter 367. When the disciples in the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's main hall saw Sui Zihan leading 400 to 500 Sui family's experts in an aggressive manner, their faces tightened. The other families and sects' disciples in the main hall quickly moved away when they saw the Sui family's experts swarming in. It's Sui Zihan. He brought so many master gods here, what's going on? Some of the experts were trying to guess Sui Zihan's intentions. Young Master Zihan. A True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's steward hurried over, cupping his fists at Sui Zihan. May I know what business young Master Zihan has with the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce? What do you want to buy? Although the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce was a powerful dragon, they were still wary of the Sui family, the local tyrant of the Brahma Moon continent. Therefore, they were extremely polite to Sui Zihan. Sui Zihan glanced at the steward and asked coldly, "Where is the blue-robed young man and the golden retriever man who came in just now?" The blue-robed young man and the golden retriever man? The steward was stunned. Then he thought of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, who were invited into the inner hall by their president. May I know why young Master Zihan is looking for them? The steward asked with a smile. Sui Zihan's face sank. So you know where they are now? Tell them to come out. If I don't see them in 5 minutes, I'll smash your True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's main hall. The steward was stunned, but he could tell that Sui Zihan wasn't joking. If he said he would smash their main hall, he would really do it. If it were an ordinary Sui family's disciple, he would have already ordered them to leave. But Sui Zihan wasn't an ordinary Sui family's disciple. He was the Sui family's core disciple and Sui Tai's nephew. The steward told Sui Zihan to wait for a while, then turned around and entered the inner hall. He couldn't make the decision on this matter, so he could only report it to their president. In the inner hall, Xie Yun, Lu Yiping, and Taurus Longjiao were chatting happily when the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's steward came in, reporting that Sui Zihan had led a large group of Sui family's experts to meet Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. He said that if he didn't see them in 5 minutes, he would smash the Chamber of Commerce's main hall. Sui Zihan. Xie Yun frowned and looked at Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull. Lu Yiping said to the Dragon Horn Golden Bull, "Let's go out and take a look." Then he and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull walked towards the hall. Xie Yun's experts of Dragon Hall were of Sui's of Sui families of 100 and Sui families experts Sui of 1,000 families is family, SS. Had Zihan of 9 experts behind Sui. Seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao come out, Sui Zihan's face was filled with anger. "You're finally out." Taurus Longjiao looked at Sui Zihan's angry face and said, "In the Red Moon Forest, my master didn't kill you, you brat. You should be glad. You actually wanted to find people to seek revenge." He then looked at the Sui family's experts behind Sui Zihan. "But you only brought these ugly melons and dates?" Ugly melons and dates? Sui Zihan and the Sui family's experts were enraged. One of the Sui family's experts couldn't help but step forward, sending a punch at Taurus Longjiao. Blue waves surged to the sky, a sea of flames surged and a storm swept out. Layers of lightning turned into lightning snakes, and giant green vines coiled around them. This Sui family's expert was a water, fire, wind, lightning and wood over god. Water, fire, wind, lightning, and wood elemental energy had reached 70 different types. Lightning elemental energy had reached 90 different types. The main hall shook. Even with the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's defensive formation, it still felt like it was about to collapse. Facing the Sui family's 5 elemental overgods attack, Taurus Longjiao didn't even look at it. He directly sent out a palm, and the Sui family's water, fire, wind, lightning, and wood elemental attack collapsed. The Sui family's expert only felt a terrifying force coming at him. His eyes widened in shock, and he wanted to retreat, but he was too slow. He was instantly struck by Taurus Longjiao's palm, and he exploded on the spot. A 5 elemental overgod dead. Everyone was stunned. Although this Sui family's 5 elemental overgod hadn't cultivated all of his elemental energy to perfection, He had cultivated over 70 different types of energy in each elemental energy, and had even cultivated 90 different types of lightning elemental energy. His strength was absolutely shocking, comparable to an ordinary 6 elemental over god. However, he had exploded with a single palm. True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's president Xie Yun's eyes narrowed. Taurus Longjiao hadn't used any Heaven's Mandate energy, nor did he use any Origin Law energy. That palm strike just now seemed to be the strength of Taurus Longjiao's physical body. Just the strength of his physical body was enough to kill a 5 elemental over god? Sui Zihan and the Sui family's experts were stunned for a moment before they reacted. Uncle Tating! Sui Zihan cried out in grief as he looked at the Sui family's expert who had exploded. The one who had just been killed by Taurus Longjiao was a Sui family's grand over god, one of Sui Zihan's uncles, and also Sui Tai's younger brother. Kill them for me! Sui Zihan roared with bloodshot eyes. The Sui family's experts were enraged, and they all rushed forward to attack Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly as he looked at the 400 Sui families over gods charging at him. The Sui family's experts felt their hearts tremble, and in the next moment, heaven and earth shook violently as one giant chaos fate after another flew out. Each chaos fate was 139,999 li long. There were 13 in total. Peak level 13 chaos fate. And there were 13 of them. Everyone exclaimed when they saw the 13 peak level 13 chaos fate in the sky. Whether it was Sui Zihan, Xie Yun or the other experts, they were all shocked. The 13 chaos fate shone brightly, and layers of chaos chi turned into thousands of chaos lightning dragons that charged at the Sui families over gods. The chaos chi formed by the 13 chaos fate was far stronger than the Sui family's experts had imagined. Wherever the chaos lightning dragons passed, the Sui families over gods were all blasted away, and they were all blasted into smithereens. Explosions rang out in the main hall as the Sui families over gods were blasted apart. When the chaos lightning dragons finally stopped, none of the Sui family's 400 over gods were left standing. To be more precise, none of them were alive. The ground was covered in blood. The surrounding space was filled with the power of totems, chaos fate, and laws. Of the Sui family's experts, only Sui Zihan was left. Taurus Longjiao looked at Sui Zihan. Sui Zihan's expression changed drastically, and fear filled his eyes. Taurus Longjiao struck out with his palm, and the ground shook violently. Sui Zihan was pressed into the ground by Taurus Longjiao's palm, and he was blasted apart just like the Sui family's experts. The experts in the surroundings shuddered when they saw Sui Zihan's corpse. Lu Yiping turned to Xie Yun and said, "Since it's all cleaned up, President Xie, let's continue our discussion in the inner hall." Seeing Sui Zihan and the Sui families over gods being slapped to death, Xie Yun came back to his senses and said with difficulty, "All right, Master Lu, please." Chapter 368. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were invited back into the inner hall by Xie Yun. When Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Xie Yun disappeared, the hall was in an uproar. The Sui family was the undisputed number 1 family in the Brahma Moon continent. Not to mention several hundred over gods, even the death of several hundred heavens will god kings would shock the Brahma Moon continent, not to mention that Sui Zihan was also killed. However, what shocked them even more was the 13 peak level 13 chaos wills. Everyone's mind was filled with the scene of 13 peak level 13 chaos wills in the sky. Sui Tai loved his nephew, Sui Zihan, and often went back to the Sui family to teach him. Now that Sui Zihan is dead, what do you think Sui Tai will do? Since Sui Zihan was killed, the Sui clan will definitely not let it go, right? Everyone discussed. In the Sui family, Sui Juanru opened the message talisman and was stunned for a long time. Then he cried out, "Zihan!" Half an hour later, Sui Juanru knelt in front of the Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuewen, and the other ancestors. His eyes were red as he kowtowed. "Patriarch, please avenge Zihan." Sui Kuewen didn't say anything and the hall was silent. The strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan, said, 13 peak level 13 chaos wills is a miracle. We have to be careful and investigate this person's identity. Sui Juanru was stunned. "Ancestor, you mean that the Sui family will forget about Zihan's death?" Sui Kuewen sighed. Juanru Zihan is a genius of our Sui clan. Everyone here loves Zihan, and we're all saddened by Zihan's death. We want to crush the other party to death, but Lu Yiping's background is unknown. Moreover, he possesses a peak level 13 chaos fate. Our Sui clan has to be cautious. Sui Juanru's face paled. At this time, Sui Tai of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect clenched his fist and crushed the message talisman. Smashed into meat paste. Red Moon City. Sui Tai's eyes were red as he said in a low voice, Zihan, don't worry. Uncle won't let you die in vain. With that, he flew into the sky and disappeared. Sui Tai's divine armor flickered as his figure flashed in the void at an astonishing speed. The divine armor he was wearing was an upper-grade Khanate Supreme treasure forged by the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, called the Taishian Divine Armor. The mysterious divine armor had a time divine formation carved into it. Sui Tai had activated the time divine formation of the mysterious divine armor to travel through time and space towards Red Moon City. After staying for half an hour, and Longjiao S. and Taurus Long. After leaving the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Lu Yiping did not immediately leave Red Moon City. Instead, he stayed in Red Moon City with the Dragon Horn Golden Bull. Lu Yiping had branded Black Wind Old Monster by Fei's soul. Therefore, he was currently waiting in Red Moon City for Zimingji of the Purple Extreme Devil Race to come and find Bai Fei. This time, Lu Yiping had not only asked the True Dragon Merchant Guild to search for the Builder Tree and Buzhou Mountain Stone, but also to inquire about Tianhong. Though he didn't know Tianhong's identity, he knew Tianhong's physical characteristics from Zhao Tao's memory fragments. Tianhong was tall, almost 2 meters in height. His palms were abnormally thick, and there was a green spot in his left eye. Although it was difficult to identify Tianhong based on these physical characteristics, it was better than nothing. Several days later, the Sui family also heard that Lu Yiping had killed the Blood Demon Sect's patriarch, Li Yu, with 49 totems. The Sui family was shocked to learn that Lu Yiping had 49 totems. Early morning. The sun was bright. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were cultivating in a mansion. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the sky above the Red Moon City. It was Sui Tai from the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Sui Tai appeared in the sky above the Red Moon City. He didn't hide his aura, and it enveloped the entire city. It's Sui Tai from the Sui family. It's Sui Tai. When the experts recognized the person in the sky, they were all shocked. After Sui Zihan's death, everyone was guessing if the Sui family and Thousand Souls Divine Sect would send experts. Xie Yun of the True Dragon Merchant Guild was also surprised when he heard that Sui Tai had come. Mysterious divine armor. Xie Yun was shocked when he saw the armor on Sui Tai's body. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect used all their resources to forge this armor, and it's really given to Sui Tai. When the Thousand Souls Divine Sect used all their resources to forge this armor, it shocked the entire Brahma Moon continent. Everyone guessed that the armor was for the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's sect master, but now it was given to Sui Tai. From this, one could see how much the Thousand Souls Divine Sect valued and protected Sui Tai. I heard that Sui Tai has already comprehended 10 laws, and each of them has comprehended 99 types of energy. An expert of the True Dragon Merchant Guild said. With Sui Tai's battle prowess, I'm afraid that many 11 or even 12 overgods wouldn't be his match. After a pause, he continued, I wonder if Lu Yiping and the others can contend with Sui Tai? Xie Yun was also curious about Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's true strength. He could see that Taurus Longjiao's strength wasn't his true strength. Lu, come out. I know you're still in the Red Moon City. Sui Tai scanned the Red Moon City and his cold voice resounded in the sky. Every corner of the Red Moon City could hear his voice. As soon as Sui Tai finished speaking, 2 figures, one blue and one gold, appeared in the sky. Seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao appear, Sui Tai walked towards them. High-grade innate cardinal treasure. Lu Yiping looked at the mysterious divine armor on Sui Tai's body and said. With a flash of light, a spear appeared in Sui Tai's hand. The spear was pitch black, and it emitted a black light that made one's heart palpitate. This spear was called the Divine Spear of Darkness, and it was a mid-grade innate cardinal treasure. Sui Tai's gaze landed on Taurus Longjiao. You're the one who killed my nephew Sui Zihan? That's right. Taurus Longjiao said. I killed the several hundred overgods of the Sui family. Then you can die. Sui Tai's voice was low as he stabbed out with the spear in his hand. Water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, and light. A total of 999 types of energy surged out. Darkness swallowed the sky and light shone. Waves surged to the sky. Hurricanes tore through the world. Amidst the darkness and light, a pale green light shone out. This was the power of the law of poison. Just as the 999 types of energy surged out, the spear suddenly crossed through layers of space and arrived in front of Taurus Longjiao. It's the power of the law of space. Seeing Sui Tai's spear cross through layers of space, Xie Yun's eyes narrowed, and he's already comprehended 99 types, 1089 types of energy. Seeing the divine spear of darkness carrying 1089 types of energy, Taurus Longjiao raised his hand. Chapter 369. When Taurus Longjiao raised his hand, it was as if his palm was covered in the world's most dazzling golden light. Rays of golden light shot out, piercing the eyes of the Red Moon City's experts. Even Xie Yun and Sui Tai had never seen such a dazzling golden light. Taurus Longjiao's palm met the divine darkness spear. When everyone saw this, they could not help being stunned. He can't be thinking of blocking the divine darkness spear with his palm, right? An expert from the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce exclaimed. Xie Yun was also surprised. The divine darkness spear was a mid-grade innate artifact. The golden retriever beside Lu Yiping actually wanted to block the divine darkness spear's spear light with his bare hands? Sui Tai sneered seeing this. His strength increased once more, and the divine darkness spear's light became even more dazzling. A wave of law energy similar to the space law surged out. Of course, it was only similar and not space law energy. It's time law, an expert shouted. Moreover, it was the 99 types of time law energy. Sui Tai had also comprehended 99 types of time law energy. Xie Yun didn't expect Sui Tai to not only comprehend the first 10 types of laws to perfection, but also time and space laws to perfection. All 12 types of laws reached perfection. A total of 1,188 types of energy. The spear shot towards Taurus Longjiao. Zheng. The divine darkness spear carried 1,188 types of energy, as it slammed into Taurus Longjiao's palm. The sound of the impact wasn't loud, but everyone's heart shook. This attack seemed to have struck their souls and hearts. Rays of light burst out. The divine darkness spear's various types of law energy exploded. However, the divine darkness spear didn't pierce through Taurus Longjiao's palm like everyone had expected. Taurus Longjiao stood there. His palm was like a golden mountain that supported the Jiutian mountain. The divine darkness spear on top of his palm shot out rays of light, but it didn't budge. Everyone saw that Taurus Longjiao's palm didn't even break the skin. Xie Yun was stunned. Sui Tai had a look of disbelief on his face. His attack, which contained 12 laws and 1,188 origins powers, was actually unable to break through a single palm of the golden retriever. The golden retriever man's palm stood there, as if no amount of power could cross it. While Sui Tai was still in disbelief, the world suddenly trembled violently. Chaos fates flew out one after another. The 26 chaos wills almost completely covered the sky above Crimson Moon City. When Taurus Longjiao's 26 primal chaos wills flew out, Crimson Moon City trembled violently. The ground began to crack as if 26 primal chaos mountains were pressing down from the sky. Crimson Moon City couldn't withstand this power. Red Moon City's experts felt their bodies sink. The weaker ones were directly pressed to the ground by the terrifying power passed down from the space. Even Sui Tai's heart sank. 26 chaos fates. Xie Yun and the experts of Red Moon City were shocked when they saw the 26 peak level, 13 chaotic fate beasts in the sky. The 26 chaos fates buzzed. Chaos chi roared, lightning condensed, and thousands of divine dragons flew out. Chaos lightning chi and chaos dragon chi rained down like 26 waterfalls. Even Sui Tai's 12 origins and 1,188 origins couldn't compare to the power of these 26 waterfalls. Sui Tai was terrified. He frantically activated the Arcana Divine Armor on his body, causing layers of arrays to shine. The armor had a total of 81 arrays. When all 81 arrays were activated, The power of the arrays caused the surrounding space to tremble. The power of the time array directly tore through the void. Sui Tai waved the dark divine spear in his hand, and the 12 origins clashed with the Chaos Lightning Chi and Chaos Dragon Chi. This time, Sui Tai's 12 origins included the Chaos Force. It's the Chaos Force of the Chaos Fate Beasts, someone said. When a Chaos Fate Beast broke through to the Overgod realm, their law power could fuse with the Chaos Fate Beasts to produce Chaos Force. The higher the level of the Chaos Fate Beasts, the stronger the Chaos Force. When Sui Tai was still a Destiny Beast, although the Chaos Fate Beast he fused with wasn't Taurus Longjiao's peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts, it was still a level 12 Chaos Fate Beasts. Moreover, there were 24 of them, so the Chaos Force produced was still shocking. After Sui Tai attacked, he used the power of the Arcana Divine Armor's time array to escape. With a loud boom, Taurus Longjiao's Chaos Lightning Chi and Chaos Dragon Chi clashed with Sui Tai's 12 origins and Chaos Force. The world shook, and Crimson Moon City trembled. Terrifying shockwaves swept out in all directions. Chaos Chi shot out. The 12 origins beasts intersected with each other. The space and buildings in the upper world were 10,000 times more stable than in the lower world. However, under the impact of Taurus Longjiao and Sui Tai's power, the surrounding buildings were lifted up and spatial cracks spread out. Many of the god kings and overgods who had hidden extremely far away felt their scalps prickle when they saw this. The shockwave struck Sui Tai, who was escaping with the help of the Time Divine Array. The Taishian Divine Armor on Sui Tai's body trembled, and Sui Tai was pushed back for hundreds of miles. Sui Tai stood still, and he felt his blood boiling. His throat heated up, and blood oozed out from the corner of his mouth. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at Taurus Longjiao with shock and anger. Looking at the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts above Taurus Longjiao, he couldn't hide his shock. He had fused with a level 12 Chaotic Fate, but the gap between his power and a peak level 13 Chaotic Fate was so huge. His 24 level, 12 Chaotic Fate and 12 Law origins were still unable to fend off 26 peak level, 13 Chaotic Fate. If it weren't for the Arcana Divine Armor, he would have been heavily injured. Peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts are so strong, an expert from the Sun Moon Palace exclaimed. The Sun Moon Palace was a sect second only to the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Probably only an Overgod at the Great Perfection 13 Elemental Great Perfection Overgod can block the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts, Xie Yun exclaimed. While everyone was discussing, the Dragon Horn Golden Bull looked at Sui Tai, who was pushed back, and said, "You're not weak. However, that was just a warm-up." Just a warm-up. Everyone became restless when they heard that. The attack from the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts was just a warm-up. Then what kind of attack would come next? Everyone saw Taurus Longjiao raise his hands. His palms shone with golden light as the law of metal surged out. However, everyone's eyes widened when they saw Taurus Longjiao's law of metal. Taurus Longjiao didn't have 99 types of law of metal, but 100. 100 types of law of metal. What was going on? Were their eyes playing tricks on them? Chapter 370. Xie Yun and Sui Tai's eyes widened. Everyone knew that there were 13 types of laws in this world, and each type had 99 types of energy. Even the barbarian dragon ruler had 99 types of energy. No one had ever heard of anyone comprehending 100 types of energy from one type. While everyone was in disbelief, Taurus Longjiao's lightning energy surged from his palms. 99 types. After 99 types of lightning energy, another type of lightning energy surged out. 100 types. Seeing that Taurus Longjiao also had 100 types of lightning energy, everyone was shaken once more. Moreover, they could sense that whether it was Taurus Longjiao's 100th type of metal energy or lightning energy, they were both extremely terrifying. They were even more terrifying than the previous 99 types combined. Taurus Longjiao struck out with both palms. 100 types of the law of metal and 100 types of the law of lightning roared out, turning into an ocean of metal and an ocean of lightning. Chaos energy surged within the sea of metal and lightning. It was the chaos energy produced after the metal and lightning laws merged with the 26 peak level 13 chaos wills. All 26 of them were at the peak of the 13th level. The primal chaos force produced by these 26 primal chaos wills was extremely vast. The sky above Crimson Moon City began to crumble inch by inch. Layers of space were constantly being shattered. The Golden Ocean and the Lightning Ocean instantly arrived in front of Sui Tai with the power to destroy heaven and earth. Sui Tai panicked and didn't have time to think. He activated all the arrays in his Taishan divine armor and frantically retreated. At the same time, he struck out with the Dark Divine Spear. The power of the 12 laws shone brightly. Along with his chaos destiny, the chaos force collided with the Metal Ocean and the Lightning Ocean. But this time, his 12 types of laws and chaos energy were instantly blasted away by the Sea of Metal and Lightning. The Sea of Metal and Lightning didn't stop and continued to attack him. Unable to retreat, Sui Tai roared in anger and a blood-red mist ignited on his body. Clearly, he was using the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's forbidden technique to temporarily increase his strength. As the blood-red mist rose, Sui Tai's Taishan divine armor shone brightly, and the power of the 81 arrays increased once more. Numerous large array runes twined around his body, forming a supreme mystic defensive barrier. When the Taishan defense enchantment was formed, the Golden Ocean and the Thunder Ocean crashed onto the Taishan divine armor. A hissing sound exploded. The Taishan spirit barrier was like a layer of ice. After being hit by 2 huge meteors from Jotian, the Taishan spirit barrier collapsed and exploded. One by one, the formation runes exploded in the air like ice shards. The mysterious divine armor, which had been shining brightly, suddenly dimmed. All 81 great formations stopped operating. Sui Tai felt his body tremble. He was like a kite with its string cut as he was sent flying. After smashing through countless buildings in Red Moon City, he fell into a pile of ruins. The experts in Red Moon City were shocked beyond words when they saw the Law of Metal and Law of Lightning surrounding Taurus Longjiao. 100 types of metal elemental laws of nature. 100 types of Law of Lightning. The power was so strong that even the Taishan divine armor couldn't withstand it. The Golden Bull ignored the crowd and pulled Sui Tai, who was on the verge of death, out of the ruins in the distance. Then, it pulled off the mysterious divine armor on Sui Tai's body. He's not going to kill Sui Tai, is he? Feeling the chill from Taurus Longjiao, the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce's expert stuttered. As soon as he said that, he saw Taurus Longjiao pierce Sui Tai's body with a finger. Sui Tai was sent flying. In mid-air, he turned into a rain of blood that fluttered about. The experts from Red Moon City and the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce were stunned when they saw Sui Tai's body turn into a rain of blood. Sui Tai is dead? Many experts from various sects and clans stared at the rain of blood in disbelief. Sui Tai was known as the most monstrous genius in the history of the Sui clan, as well as the most monstrous genius in the history of the Fanyu continent. He had the potential to become a supreme ruler in the future. He was worshipped by countless disciples of the Fanyu continent, but now he had died in Red Moon City. Thinking of the terrible consequences of Sui Tai's death, even Xie Yun, the president of True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Brahma Moon City branch, paled. Xie Yun didn't know when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left. He stood there in a daze, thinking of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect and the Sui family's wrath and razing Red Moon City to the ground. The experts of True Dragon Chamber of Commerce and Red Moon City also thought of the same thing. Their faces paled and their eyes were filled with fear. Now they didn't have the time to think about how Taurus Longjiao comprehended the 100 types of Law of Metal and Law of Lightning. President, should we leave Red Moon City first? One of the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's experts stuttered. If the Sui family and the Thousand Souls Divine Sect were enraged, everyone in Red Moon City would be buried with them. Xie Yun took a deep breath and said, I will report this to the higher-ups and see what they say. He took out the communication talisman and contacted the higher-ups. Soon he received a reply. After reading the reply, Xie Yun said solemnly, Order all True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's disciples to leave Red Moon City. Almost at the same time, many families and sects in Red Moon City also gave the order to leave Red Moon City. The crowd rushed out of Red Moon City in a rush. Sui family, the strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan, looked at the communication talisman in his hand. His eyes were blank and his body was stiff. His hands trembled as he said, "He's dead." Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuewen, had a bad feeling when he saw Sui Yukuan holding the communication talisman with trembling hands. "Ancestor, what are you doing?" Sui Kuewen asked. Many ancestors in the hall were puzzled. Sui Yukuan looked at Sui Kuewen and the others in the hall. His eyes were blank and lifeless. His voice seemed to come from another world. "Tai is dead." Tai was dead. Sui Yukuan's voice resounded in the ears of Sui Kuewen and the Sui family's ancestors. "Dead." Sui Kuewen's voice trembled. Sui Yukuan handed the communication talisman to Sui Kuewen. Sui Kuewen took it and looked at it. The more he looked at it, the more his hands trembled and his face turned paler. His killing intent grew stronger and his eyes turned redder. The Sui family's ancestors came over and looked at the communication talisman. In an instant, the Sui family's main hall was filled with killing intent. Kill. After a long while, the strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan's voice was filled with hatred and killing intent. At the same time, in the ancestral land of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, a voice filled with hatred and killing intent rang out, "Kill." Soon figures exuding powerful auras rushed into the sky from the Sui family's main hall. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect's army was even more majestic. Killing intent filled the air as they rushed towards Red Moon City. Chapter 371. Although there were only 101 people from the Sui family, every one of them had surpassed the Overgod realm. God Emperors. All of them are God Emperors. When the experts from the Sui family were on their way to Crimson Moon City, they alerted many cities along the way. Some of the old ancestors were shocked when they sensed the aura of the experts from the Sui family. In some of the smaller continents like the Blood Demon continent, Liu was only an Overgod. But now, the Sui family had sent 100 God Emperors. No, the leader is a God Ancestor. God Ancestor Qianlong from the Sui family. Many experts recognized the old man from the Sui family. God Ancestor Qianlong was a figure from more than 10 million years ago. 10 million years ago, his name had spread across the Brahma Moon continent and the surrounding continents. Everyone was shocked to see that the Sui family had sent a God Ancestor. A God Ancestor was the ancestor of all gods. Even in the vast divine world, a God Ancestor was an overlord. After reaching the God Ancestor realm, they rarely showed themselves. While the experts from the Sui family were on their way to Crimson Moon City, the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's army shocked the experts from the other cities. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect's army consisted of 1,000 God Emperors, 10 God Ancestors. When the experts from the Sui family and the Thousand Souls Divine Sect arrived at Crimson Moon City, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were cultivating under the Tree of Creation. Lu Yiping's body was surrounded by profound yellow qi and saint light. Suddenly Lu Yiping, who was cultivating, stopped. He had left a mark on Bai Fei's soul. Just now, he sensed that Zi Mingji from the Purple Extreme Demon Clan had come to contact Bai Fei. Lu Yiping had been waiting for Zi Mingji to appear. Immediately, Lu Yiping put away the Tree of Creation and left Crimson Moon City with Taurus Longjiao. Soon after Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left Crimson Moon City, an expert reported to Sui family's God Ancestor Sui Qianlong. Lu Yiping escaped? Sui Qianlong's face turned cold. Pass down the order to seal the Fanua continent. I want to see how they escape. The experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect also ordered the Brahma Moon continent to be sealed off. At this moment, in a mansion in Rongzhou City, Rongping, the fifth daughter of the Rong family, was having a banquet with some friends to play the zither and discuss Taoism. Sitting across from Rongping was Lan Chuxin, a direct disciple of one of the Sun Moon Palace's ancestors. Lan Chuxin stopped playing a song and suddenly sighed with emotion. In the past, there were always 5 of us. Now that Brother Zihan isn't here, it feels much quieter. A beautiful woman sitting beside Rongping snorted coldly. Zihan will not die in vain. That Lu Yiping and his subordinates will not be able to escape. The beautiful woman was the daughter of the Divine Snow Phoenix Sect Master, Yu Yan. I don't know where this Lu guy came from. I didn't expect him to have 26 peak level 13 chaotic fate beasts. He's also comprehended 100 types of metal and lightning laws. Lan Chuxin frowned. Even Lord Tai died at his hands. I really don't know how his subordinates comprehended 100 types of power. If his subordinates can comprehend 100 types of power, then Lu Yiping must have comprehended 100 types of power as well. Rongping recalled the scene in the Red Moon Forest and said hatefully, "It's too bad that I'm too weak. Otherwise, I would have trampled Lu Yiping and Bai Feifei to death." Lan Chuxin looked at Rongping and said, "I heard that your Rong family has a guard captain who is from the Purple Extreme Demon race?" Rongping shook her head. "Our Rong family has already investigated clearly. Bai Fei is not from the Purple Extreme Demon race. It's all Lu Yiping's nonsense." At this time, somewhere in Rongping's mansion, Bai Fei was respectfully kneeling before an expert in a black robe and a ghost mask. "Master, this is what you're looking for." Bai Fei respectfully presented a silver stone to Zimingji. It was because of this silver stone's importance that Zimingji was so anxious to see Bai Fei. He was wearing the Purple Extreme Demon race's special robe that concealed his aura. Therefore, he wasn't worried about being discovered by Rongping's experts. Zimingji received the silver stone. After carefully inspecting it, his face lit up with joy. "Well done." Bai Fei smiled. "It's all thanks to Master's nurturing." Just as Zimingji was about to speak, he looked up and saw two figures, one blue and one gold, appear in the air above the mansion without any warning, walking towards the two of them. Zimingji was stunned. The two figures were none other than Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Since Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao did not conceal their auras, when Lu Yiping and Bai Fei appeared, Rongping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the others also noticed Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lan Chuxin and the others didn't recognize Lu Yiping, but when Rongping saw Lu Yiping, her face tightened. Her eyes turned frosty as she spat. Lu Yiping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the others were dumbfounded. "He's Lu Yiping." Yu Yan's gaze turned frosty. She turned to the two experts beside her and said, "Elders, please kill him." The two Divine Snow Phoenix sect elders complied respectfully and leaped into the air. When the two of them flew into the air, the energy in their bodies was fully circulated. Shocking waves of energy swept out. Both of them were God Emperor realm experts. A God Emperor was above the Master God realm, the Emperor of Gods. Subsequently, two avatars that looked exactly the same as them flew out from their bodies. These were the avatars of God Emperor realm experts. Both avatars were 3,000 zhang tall. One was shrouded in lightning, while the other was surrounded by raging tornadoes. Clearly, one was a lightning element avatar, and the other was a wind element avatar. When one was a God King and Master God, the stronger the heavenly mandate they integrated with, the stronger the law they comprehended. Thus, when they broke through to God Emperor realm, the stronger the avatar they condensed would be. An ordinary God Emperor realm expert's avatar would only be several dozen zhang tall, whereas these two Divine Snow Phoenix sect elders' avatars were 3,000 zhang tall. The two elders summoned their avatars, and the long swords in their hands slashed at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. When the two elders' long swords slashed at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, the two elders' avatars attacked at the same time. The two elders' avatars were no weaker than their main bodies, and it was equivalent to 4 people attacking at the same time. At this time, Zimingji knew that his identity had been exposed, so he activated the divine robe on his body and turned into a streak of purple light, wanting to escape. Lu Yiping stared at the two elders of the Divine Snow Phoenix sect as his expression turned cold. Lightning flashed around his body, causing the space to tremble. Behind him, a towering figure appeared. When this figure appeared, the heavens and earth darkened. Countless bolts of lightning surged around this figure, and he held a lightning hammer in his hand. Just the lightning hammer in his hand alone was 100,000 zhang long. A terrifying lightning tribulation aura swept through the world. All the experts in Rongzhou City were alarmed. Many figures flew out of the Rong family's headquarters. When the experts of the Rong family's headquarters saw the towering figure, they were all shocked. "This is an avatar?" The Rong family patriarch trembled. An ordinary God Emperor's avatar would only be several dozen zhang tall. The avatars of the Divine Snow Phoenix sect elders could be considered strong if they were 3,000 zhang tall. 1,000 zhang tall avatar was rare. In the past, the barbaric dragon sovereign's avatar was only 10,000 zhang tall. Chapter 372. According to the records, the primordial heavenly emperor's avatar was only 100,000 feet tall. As for 100,000 feet tall avatar, the Rong family patriarch and the rest had never heard of such a thing. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the rest were dumbfounded when they saw the 10,000 feet tall figure behind Lu Yiping. Even Zi Mingji, who was running away, felt his legs trembling when he turned around to look at the darkening sky. At this time, the 10,000 feet tall figure behind Lu Yiping slammed down with a lightning hammer. Boundless divine lightning rained down like an apocalyptic tsunami. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders' sword chi was shattered in an instant. The terrifying power penetrated through the layers of space, smashing down from the sky. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders turned pale with fright. They didn't even dare to resist as they fled frantically. They even executed the divine Snow Phoenix sect's strongest escape technique, the Phoenix Cry Jiutian. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders turned into two streaks of white divine flames, trying to escape from the lightning hammer's attack range. However, just as they turned around to flee, they felt the space around them tremble. Terrifying lightning chi engulfed them. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders fell from the sky like falling stones. Even after the two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders were hit by the terrifying lightning chi, the 100,000 feet tall lightning hammer continued to smash down with devastating power. Rong Ping's residence was huge, spanning 100 miles, but it seemed so small in front of the lightning hammer. Looking at the descending lightning hammer, Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the rest paled. "Young lord, run!" The guard behind Lan Chuxin roared. At the same time, he grabbed Lan Chuxin's shoulder and dragged him out of the residence. The guard behind Rong Ping also carried Rong Ping away. Yu Yan also did the same. As for the other guards in the residence, they were also fleeing in panic. The residence was in chaos. Before the lightning hammer landed, the residence's buildings were smashed into smithereens by the surging lightning chi. Rumble! The lightning hammer finally landed on the ground. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders felt their bodies stiffen and they lost consciousness. The divine Snow Phoenix sect chief's daughter, Yu Yan, was also smashed into the ground by the lightning hammer. When the lightning hammer smashed into the ground, Rongzhou City trembled. The entire mansion had already disappeared, and the surrounding buildings were also blown away by the rolling thunder chi, turning into dust. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, and the others who had escaped from the manor were also blown away by the lightning chi's remnant energy. When they crashed to the ground, they vomited blood. Everyone was aghast. Looking from afar, the surroundings of the residence were filled with rolling sand and lightning. Sand and dust flew everywhere, covering an unknown distance. Lu Yiping put away the thunder hammer, and with a suction force from his hand, he pulled the fleeing Zi Mingji back. Zi Mingji looked at Lu Yiping, who was right in front of him. He looked at Lu Yiping's figure that was still surging with lightning. He felt his entire body stiffen and his heart stop beating. Lu Yiping took Zi Mingji and didn't leave immediately. Instead, he looked in the direction of the Rong family's headquarters. "Does anyone else want to make a move?" Lu Yiping's voice was indifferent. However, there was no response from the Rong family's mansion. The Rong family's god ancestors didn't say anything. Even the Rong family's patriarch, who was a supreme god, didn't say anything. Lu Yiping stood there for a while, and after a while, he and Taurus Longjiao flew away with Zi Mingji, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, and the others crawled out from the ruins. When they saw that the mansion had completely disappeared and was replaced by a giant hammer-shaped pit, their faces turned pale and they trembled uncontrollably. "Yu Yan is dead?" Rong Ping's hands were shaking, and she couldn't hear anything around her. She came to the original location of the mansion and stood at the edge of the pit. Looking down, she saw that the thunder chi was still rising from the pit. Through the layers of thunder chi, she saw that there were only a few pools of blood at the bottom of the pit. Lan Chuxin and the others looked at the bottom of the pit, and they were all stunned. What happened in Rongzhou City spread quickly. Sui Qianlong, the god ancestor of the Sui family, was shocked when he heard the report. 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar? The 100 god emperors of the Sui family also looked at each other. Lord Qianlong, should we report this to the old ancestor? One of the god emperors of the Sui family said weakly, pointing at Sui Yukuan. 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar. What kind of concept was that? For every 10 feet the avatar grew, its battle strength would increase. How terrifying would 1,000,000 feet avatar's battle strength be? They couldn't imagine. If Lu Yiping really had 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar, they wouldn't be able to kill him. Even 1,000 god emperors wouldn't be able to kill Lu Yiping, let alone 100. Although Sui Qianlong was a god ancestor, he wouldn't be able to kill Lu Yiping with 1,000,000 feet avatar. Sui Qianlong's expression changed. In the end, he took out a message talisman and reported to Sui Yukuan. The experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect did the same. After leaving Gloryfoot City, Lu Yiping learned about the Purple Extreme Demon Race's nest on the Brahma Moon continent from Zi Mingji's memory fragments. Immediately, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao headed to the Purple Extreme Demon Race's nest. Few days later, Lu Yiping and Sui Yukuan appeared in the sky above a primitive forest. The Purple Extreme Demon Race's nest on the Brahma Moon continent was in this primitive forest. Lu Yiping covered the area with his soul, and very soon, he discovered the location of the Purple Extreme Demon Clan's lair. This lair was only a small branch of the Purple Extreme Demon Clan. There were not many people, only 300 or 400 of them. Moreover, there were no experts and they were basically all over gods. However, to Lu Yiping's surprise, there were a lot of Tree of Creation in this nest. The Tree of Creation in his body was vibrating. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived in the sky above the Purple Extreme Demon Race's nest. The heavenly pillar appeared in Taurus Longjiao's hand, and it turned into a giant peak that slammed down. After annihilating the Purple Extreme Demon Race's experts, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at the nest's treasury. They pushed open the treasury's door and saw a mountain of Tree of Creation and Chaos Spirit stones. The number of Tree of Creation in this nest was no less than the number of Tree of Creation in the Purple Extreme Demon Race's treasury in the lower realm. This was just a small nest of the Purple Extreme Demon Race in the upper realm, yet they had collected so many Tree of Creation. It was obvious that there were more Tree of Creation in the upper realm than in the lower realm. Lu Yiping didn't hesitate. He sat down cross-legged and summoned the Tree of Creation. He began to merge with the Tree of Creation here. The Tree of Creation that was 210,000 meters grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon it grew to 211,000 meters. By the time the Tree of Creation devoured all the Tree of Creation here, it had grown to 232,000 meters. After reaching 232,000 meters, the Tree of Creation's branches extended further into the surrounding space. Its leaves were lush, and the amount of black and yellow qi increased. The grand Tao patterns on the Tree of Creation emitted a mesmerizing light. Lu Yiping looked at the Tree of Creation that had grown by another 20,000 meters. He was one step closer to 300,000 meters. Anticipation grew in his heart. When he reached 300,000 meters, all the chaos qi would transform into black and yellow qi. At that time, he would be able to cultivate the immortal heavenly wood arts and secret longevity secret art faster. Chapter 373. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao exited the primordial forest and arrived at a nearby city. The barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling has appeared. Is it true? I'm afraid it's true. Many experts are heading towards the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. Even the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, Sui Family, Sun Moon Palace, and Snow Phoenix Divine Sect are heading there. After entering the city, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao could hear the various sect's disciples talking about the cave dwelling. The barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling has appeared? Taurus Longjiao's eyes lit up. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon ruler, was the descendant of the primordial heavenly emperor. This was a secret that many sovereigns in the divine world did not know, but Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bull did. Therefore, the barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling might contain some records about the primordial heavenly court or even the primordial heavenly emperor. Without further ado, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao rushed towards the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. The Dragon Cauldron Mountain was the largest mountain range in the Brahma Moon continent. When Lu Yiping and Lu Yiping arrived, Dragon Cauldron Mountain, which stretched as far as the eye could see, was filled with spaceships and people. Lu Yiping looked around and saw that some sects had brought more than 1,000,000 people. The barbaric dragon sovereign was the ruler of the divine world, so the treasures in his cave dwelling were unimaginable. Therefore, when the barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling appeared, almost all the sects had come. The Sui family's old ancestor Sui Yukuan is also here. There are more than 30 supreme gods from the Sui family. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Thousand Star Brilliance is also here. There are more than 50 supreme gods from the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. As Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao followed the crowd into the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, they overheard the discussions of many experts. Sui Yukun, Thousand Star Brilliance. Without a doubt, the two of them were the strongest in the Brahma Moon continent. Looking at the flying ships flying around him, Lu Yiping took out the Black Dragon flying ship and boarded it. As he flew deeper into the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, Lu Yiping could feel an intense tremor in the depths of the mountain. Very soon, Lu Yiping and Jian Chan saw a huge entrance in the sky above the depths of Dragon Cauldron Mountain. The violent vibrations originated from this entrance. Powerhouses from all over the world were rushing to enter the spatial entrance. Lu Yiping steered the Black Dragon flying ship towards the spatial entrance. However, just as Lu Yiping's Black Dragon flying ship was about to enter the spatial entrance, a huge flying ship suddenly appeared from behind. This huge flying ship was tens of thousands of feet long. It was even bigger than the Black Dragon flying ship. The body of the flying ship was branded with a huge golden blade. It's the Golden Blade spaceship. When the crowd saw the spaceship, they all stepped aside in shock. The Golden Knife Divine Sect was not from the Brahma Moon continent, but from the other main continent of the God Realm, the Ancient Demon Continent. The Golden Knife Divine Sect was the #1 sect on the Ancient Demon Continent. Its status on the Ancient Demon Continent was equivalent to the Thousand Spirits Divine Sect on the Brahma Moon continent. The continents controlled by the Golden Knife Divine Sect were connected to the continents controlled by the Thousand Spirits Divine Sect. Standing at the front of the Golden Knife flying ship was a young man clad in golden robes. Behind him were a group of Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts. It's the Golden Knife Divine Sect's young lord Jin Guanglia. Jin Guanglia has 4 avatars, and each avatar is over 3,000 feet long. He once killed the Greenwood Divine Emperor, who had 5 avatars with a single punch. Seeing Jin Guanglia at the front of the flying ship, one of the family's ancestors exclaimed in shock. The Golden Knife flying ship tore through space and arrived at the spatial entrance in the blink of an eye. Some of the flying ships that were unable to dodge in time were sent flying. Some of the experts flying alone were smashed into a bloody mist. Jin Guanglia stood at the front of the flying ship with an indifferent expression. The Golden Knife flying ship's momentum did not decrease as it charged towards Lu Yiping's Black Dragon flying ship. The Black Dragon flying ship was 1,000 feet long, while the Golden Knife flying ship was 10,000 feet long. Just as everyone thought that the Golden Knife flying ship was about to collide with the Black Dragon flying ship, the Black Dragon flying ship suddenly emitted a bright light. The Black Dragon flying ship flew out and coiled around the Golden Knife flying ship. A dragon's roar reverberated through heaven and earth. The moment the Golden Knife flying ship collided with the Black Dragon flying ship, Golden Knife God Zhongzhong and the others felt a violent tremor. It was as if the world was spinning. The Golden Knife flying ship that had pierced through space with an unstoppable momentum was sent flying back. The terrifying vibrations caused the Golden Knife God Zhongzhong and the others to shudder. Some of the weaker disciples even vomited blood and were sent flying out of the Golden Knife flying ship. Screams filled the air. Shockwaves swirled in the surrounding space. Whether it was the experts from the Brahma Moon continent or the other continents, all of them were dumbfounded. Although this Golden Knife flying ship was not the Golden Knife Divine Sect's strongest flying ship, it was still a mid-grade innate supreme treasure. Taurus Longjiao looked at the Golden Knife flying ship that was sent flying and snorted coldly. He suddenly punched out, and a terrifying fist wave blasted through the layers of shockwaves on the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, directly hitting the Golden Knife flying ship that was still spinning. The Golden Knife flying ship that was still spinning was sent flying again, like a broken leaf, crashing into a mountain peak in the distance. The mountain peak collapsed. Inside the flying ship, The experts of the Golden Knife Divine Sect were sent flying out of the flying ship, crashing into the surrounding mountain peaks. Jin Guanglia himself was buried inside a mountain peak, buried under the rubble. No one knew if he was dead or alive. Everyone felt their hearts twitch. Other than the sound of the mountain peak collapsing in the distance, there was no other sound. Lu Yiping's expression was indifferent as he drove the Black Dragon flying ship and entered the space with Taurus Longjiao, disappearing from everyone's sight. However, for a long time no one dared to enter the space. Long after Lu Yiping and Jin Guanglia entered the space, the Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts who were smashed into the surrounding mountain peaks crawled out from the rubble. Ignoring their injuries, they blasted away the rubble that buried Jin Guanglia, and finally found him under layers of rubble. Jin Guanglia was lying under layers of rubble. His body was a bloody mess, and he was no longer breathing. Taurus Longjiao's punch was mainly aimed at Jin Guanglia. Jin Guanglia did not escape the destructive force of that punch. Not only was his main body's vitality completely destroyed, even his 4 avatars were completely destroyed. Could be said that all of them were dead. Young Lord. The Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts stared at Jin Guanglia's dead body in disbelief. They were dumbfounded, and their cries of agony shook the surroundings. The surrounding experts were also dumbfounded looking at Jin Guanglia's dead body. Jin Guanglia was dead? Who was that blue-robed young man and the Golden Retriever's brawny man? Someone asked in surprise. Everyone came back to their senses. That looks like Lu Yiping. Suddenly, a voice sounded from the crowd. In an instant a commotion broke out. The Lu Yiping who killed Sui Tai? That's him. I've seen him at Red Moon City's True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. But Sui Tai was killed by his subordinate, the Golden Retriever's brawny man. Rongzhou City's Lu Yiping has a Million-Zhong avatar, is this true? The Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts were stunned listening to the commotion around them, and the killing intent on their faces lessened. Although they had not been in the Brahma Moon continent for long, they had heard of Lu Yiping's name. Chapter 374. I didn't expect Lu Yiping to come to the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. Lu Yiping killed Sui Tai and Yu Yan. Now, the Sui family, Thousand Souls Divine Sect, and Snow Phoenix Divine Sect are all looking for him. Unbeknownst to Lu Yiping, after entering the space with Taurus Longjiao, the Fortune Jade disc in his body suddenly vibrated. Lu Yiping was stunned for a moment, then he was overjoyed. There was a Fortune Jade disc in the barbaric Dragon Sovereign's cave dwelling? This was a pleasant surprise. Without further ado, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao flew towards the direction of the Fortune Jade disc. Soon Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at a towering mountain peak. When they reached the peak, they landed in front of a group of palaces. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao landed in front of the palaces, there were already many experts from various families present. After passing through the palaces, they arrived in front of a dragon palace. The dragon palace was majestic, and the stone pillars in front of the dragon palace were engraved with all kinds of divine dragons. The divine dragons were lifelike, and they exuded the might of dragons. However, there were dozens of experts standing guard in front of the dragon palace. Judging from their attire, they were from the Taihong Divine Sect. Although the Taihong Divine Sect wasn't as strong as the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, they were still a hegemon in the Brahma Moon continent. They weren't any weaker than the Sun Moon Palace, Snow Phoenix Divine Sect, or Sui family. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were about to enter the Dragon Palace, the Taihong Divine Sect's experts standing guard stopped them. My Taihong Divine Sect was the first to discover this palace. Please go somewhere else. One of the Taihong Divine Sect's experts said indifferently. It was clear that the Taihong Divine Sect wanted to monopolize this place. Your Taihong Divine Sect was the first to discover this place? Taurus Longjiao sneered. According to what you said, if I was the first to discover the divine world, does that mean it's mine now? The Taihong Divine Sect's experts were stunned. If the two of you don't want to die, I'd advise you to scram as far as you can right now. The face of the Taihong Divine Sect's expert darkened. However, as soon as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao waved his hand and sent him flying. The cultivator from the Taihong Celestial Sect smashed through the gate of the Dragon Palace. The gate of the Dragon Palace was broken into countless pieces. The experts of the Tai Hong divine sect who were guarding the entrance were stunned. "You're courting death." The experts of the Tai Flood celestial sect glared at Taurus Longjiao with murderous intent in their eyes. Most of the experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect were god emperors. Only a few of them were over-gods. More than 30 god emperors and 4 master gods of 10 elemental laws or above attacked at the same time. Space howled as all kinds of origin energies covered the sky and earth. Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly. Light surged behind him, and 26 figures appeared. Each of the 26 figures was over 10,000 zhang tall, emitting a tremendous godly aura. Lightning flashed across the heavens and earth, and the cries of millions of heavenly dragons formed a sea of dragons. 26 avatars. The experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect were shocked when they saw the 26 avatars behind Taurus Longjiao. The 26 avatars behind Taurus Longjiao attacked at the same time. Space buzzed. 26 terrifying waves of light blasted out. The waves of light blasted the experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect away at a frightening speed. Then, without stopping, the waves of light blasted through the gate of the Dragon Palace and into the deepest part of the Dragon Palace. Rumbling sounds continued to echo in the air. Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang entered the Dragon Palace in a flash and headed deeper into the Dragon Palace. Finally, they arrived at a great hall in the deepest part of the Dragon Palace. The great hall was as big as a small city. There were 49 stone pillars erected in the hall. Ancient runes were written all over the stone pillars. At the same time, a divine artifact was sealed on each pillar. There were axes, sabers, spears, swords, halberds, hammers, armors, and gloves. There were 18 kinds of divine artifacts. When Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang arrived, they saw the experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect attacking the seals on the stone pillars. It was obvious that they were trying to break the seals and retrieve the divine artifacts. The experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect who were trying to retrieve the divine artifacts saw Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang rushing in. Their faces darkened. One of them stopped and took a step forward, arriving in front of Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang. Without saying a word, he punched out. When he punched out, a world appeared behind him. This world was 10,000 miles wide. There were mountains, rivers, trees, and all kinds of divine beasts and god tribes. Shocking energy surged out from this world and merged with the fist force. Then it blasted towards Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang. This world was the god domain of a god ancestor expert. When a god emperor broke through to the god ancestor realm, they would be able to open up a domain that belonged to them. Furthermore, they would be able to merge the energy of the domain with them to attack their opponents. The energy of a god domain far surpassed the origin energy of the 13 types of laws. Similarly, it was far stronger than a god emperor's god force. The bigger the god domain, the stronger the energy of the domain. Furthermore, once the god domain was opened, it could suppress the opponent's strength within a certain range. The stronger the god domain, the stronger the suppression. Seeing the Tai Hong celestial sect's expert unleashing the power of a god domain, Lu Yiping remained calm. He didn't activate Tianming, his avatar, or his god domain. Instead, he pointed a finger forward. When Lu Yiping pointed his finger forward, 2 rays of light, one black and one red, appeared. The 2 rays of light transformed into a world of darkness and a world of light. Boundless energy of darkness and light roared out. When the energy of darkness and light surged out, heaven and earth shook. The Dragon Palace shook, and all the buildings outside the Dragon Palace shook. In the end, the entire mountain peak shook. Even the ground around the mountain peak started to crack. Radiant Dala Finger. The god ancestor from the Tai Hong celestial sect saw Lu Yiping's finger and thought of a supreme art. He couldn't help but turn pale. The Radiant Dala Finger was the supreme art of the barbaric dragon sovereign, the ruler of the divine world. The other experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect, who were attacking the stone pillars, also turned around in shock. Then they saw Lu Yiping's finger force pierce through the god ancestor's fist force. Then it went through the god ancestor's body and finally broke through the god's domain behind him. A huge hole was blasted open in the domain of divinity. From the hole, dense cracks spread out and quickly covered the entire domain of divinity. The god's domain was like a fragile piece of glass. With a crack, it shattered into countless pieces. As the godly domain collapsed, the godly ancestor was devoured by the power of light and darkness. His body started to dissipate. A single finger had killed a god ancestor. The several hundred experts from the Taihong celestial sect froze in shock. The hall fell into silence. A moment later, one of the experts from the Taihong celestial sect walked out. His aura surged out like a wave, and the energy contained in the wave surpassed the god ancestor's god force. He was a paramount god. Chapter 375. The paramount god was none other than Chan Tianming, the ancestor of the Taihong divine sect. Chan Tianming walked over to Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. His gaze was fixed on Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao as he asked, "May I know your names? What's your relationship with the barbaric dragon sovereign?" There was no killing intent or enmity in his eyes. Instead, there was only a burning desire to fight. Lu Yiping had executed the Radiance Dala finger, and he had grasped the essence of the Radiance Dala finger. It was clear that Chan Tianming believed that Lu Yiping was the barbaric dragon sovereign's successor. Lu Yiping didn't answer Chan Tianming's question. Instead, he looked at the front of the hall. There was a jade box on the stage, and the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc was inside it. Lu Yiping reached out to grab the jade box. Both the stone pillar and the jade box were sealed with restrictions. However, these restrictions were useless against Lu Yiping. The moment Lu Yiping touched the jade box, the restrictions on the jade box dissipated. The jade box flew into Lu Yiping's hand. The Tai Flood Divine Sect's experts were stunned. They had tried to take the jade box from Huang Xiaolong earlier, but the seal on the jade box was too strong. It was completely integrated with the stage and they couldn't move it at all. But now Lu Yiping was able to take it out with ease. Even Chan Tianming looked at Lu Yiping with a solemn expression. Even when Lu Yiping killed a god ancestor with the Radiance Dala finger, Chan Tianming didn't show such a solemn expression. There was also a seal inside the jade box. Lu Yiping sent a surge of energy into the jade box to disperse the seal. When he opened the lid, he saw a jade disc emitting a mysterious light. It was the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc. The 8th piece of the fortune jade disc was finally in his hands. Lu Yiping kept the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc into the universe cauldron for the time being. Chan Tianming was shocked. Was that the fortune jade disc? However, he wasn't sure if that was the case. He had once read about the heaven-opening divine artifact, the jade disc of good fortune, in a divine canon. The jade disc of fortune recorded the 3,000 great Taoists that created the universe. It was the origin of all the laws and powers in the universe. His heart trembled. If that was really the good fortune jade disc, its value was self-evident. "Yes, it's the good fortune jade disc," Lu Yiping said without concealing anything. Of course, he was not worried that Chan Tianming and the others would leak the information. Chan Tianming and the several hundred experts from the Tai Flood Divine Sect were shocked when they heard Lu Yiping's words. They quickly surrounded Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping's expression didn't change at all when he saw the several hundred experts from the Tai Flood Divine Sect surrounding him. Suddenly, a terrifying power gushed out from Chan Tianming's body. This power was formless and intangible. However, it caused one's soul to feel as if it was being crushed. It was as if one's soul was being crushed by millions upon millions of mountains. This was the will of a paramount god. When a god ancestor broke through to the paramount god realm, their soul and psyche would undergo a shocking transformation. Their psyche would merge with heaven and earth, forming a special kind of will. This was the will of a paramount god. The will of a paramount god came from heaven and earth. It was formless and intangible, and it could kill people without form. A paramount god didn't even need to lift a finger to kill a god ancestor or a god emperor. Chan Tianming's will of a paramount god rose to the sky and crashed down on Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. The will of a paramount god was omnipresent. Therefore, his opponents couldn't dodge it. Wang. Under Chan Tianming's will of a paramount god, space buzzed. However, to Chan Tianming's astonishment, Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bull stood there under the bombardment of his supreme will. Their expressions were normal, and they were completely fine. Chan Tianming's face darkened as he pushed his will of a paramount god. The power of his will of a paramount god rose again. Shocking wrinkles appeared in space, like the strings of a zither that was stretched to the limit and could snap at any time. However, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were still standing there calmly. Chen Tianming was dumbfounded. Lu Yiping looked at the dumbfounded Chen Tianming. Your will of a paramount god isn't even at the destabilizing level. It's too low, too weak. Paramount god wills were divided into strong and weak. From low to high, they were divided into ordinary, super, and above super were the destabilizing, terrifying, vast, and invincible levels. Chen Tianming's will of a paramount god was only at the super level. It wasn't even at the destabilizing level. Suddenly, a strand of will of a paramount god erupted from Lu Yiping's body. When this strand of will of a paramount god appeared, Zhou was shaken. The entire space of the barbarian dragon cave trembled violently. At this moment, all the experts who entered the cave could feel the terrifying will of a paramount god. In a certain corner of the cave, Sui family Sui Yukuan and the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Thousand Star Brilliance turned to look in the direction of the Dragon Palace. The Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuewen, exclaimed, could it be an invincible level will? An invincible level will was the strongest will of a paramount god. It was said to be invincible under the sovereign realm, capable of destroying all souls. Sui Yukuan spoke, it's not invincible level. It's not? Sui Kuewen stuttered, old ancestor, you mean? Sovereign. Sui Yukuan repeated slowly. Sovereign. The Sui family's experts were shocked. For a moment, none of the Sui family's experts dared to speak. At this time in the main hall of the Dragon Palace, Chen Tianming and the several hundred experts of the Tai Flood Divine Sect felt their bodies sink as they were forced to their knees by a terrifying force. They stared at Lu Yiping in shock. You a sovereign? Chen Tianming's voice trembled. A sovereign was the strongest existence in the divine world. Every time a new sovereign was born, it would shake the divine world's continents. Sovereign? Taurus Longjiao snorted. Even the barbaric dragon sovereign is nothing in front of my master. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon sovereign, was nothing in front of Huang Xiaolong. Chen Tianming and the experts of the Tai Flood Divine Sect stared at Lu Yiping in disbelief. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon sovereign, was a peak late-stage sovereign, the strongest in the divine world. How could he be nothing in front of this blue-robed young man? Who are you? Chen Tianming's mouth went dry. At this time, the cauldron of heaven and earth appeared in Lu Yiping's hand. The cauldron of heaven and earth shone brightly above Lu Yiping's palm. Chen Tianming's eyes widened when he saw the cauldron of heaven and earth. Cauldron of heaven and earth. You're the saint of heaven and earth. You're the master of the bewildering heaven sovereign. The bewildering heaven sovereign was the founder of the bewildering heaven sect. In the lower realm, Lu Yiping had many titles, such as the master of Saint Devil, the ancestor of lightning punishment, the supreme of the ancient era, and the god of the epoch. In the upper realm, Lu Yiping also had many titles, one of which was the saint of heaven and earth. All of a sudden, the cauldron of heaven and earth flew into the air, turning into a giant cauldron that supported the heavens. Chen Tianming fell to his knees and kowtowed respectfully. This lowly one has eyes but failed to see. Please forgive this lowly one for offending your excellency. His eyes were filled with fear. Chapter 376. Forgive. Lu Yiping's expression remained impassive as the cauldron of heaven and earth continued to descend. Chen Tianming and the other experts of the Tai Flood Divine Sect watched as the cauldron of heaven and earth came crashing down. They kowtowed and begged for mercy. My lord, I'm willing to be at your beck and call until my death. Chen Tianming cried out. However, the cauldron of heaven and earth continued to descend. You're just a paramount god. If you were a sovereign, my lord might consider it, Taurus Longjiao said. Chen Tianming couldn't help but despair at the sight of the cauldron of heaven and earth. He wanted to flee, but he realized that the space around him had been completely frozen. Even a paramount god like him couldn't move. He was confident that he could even escape from a terrifying expert. But now, he didn't even have the slightest hope of escaping. As for the other godly ancestors and overgods of the Tai Flood Divine Sect, There was no need to even mention them. Before the cauldron of heaven and earth came crashing down, some of the weaker overgods were already reduced to a bloody mist. A thunderous boom rang out. At the same time, the consciousnesses of Chen Tianming and several hundred godly ancestors and overgods of the Tai Flood divine sect dissipated. After killing Chen Tianming and several hundred godly ancestors and overgods of the Tai Flood divine sect, Lu Yiping retrieved the cauldron of heaven and earth. Lu Yiping looked at the divine artifacts sealed within the 49 stone pillars. All of them were high-grade innate supreme treasures. With a wave of his hand, Lu Yiping plucked all of them out of the stone pillars and put them away. Lu Yiping left the dragon palace and the mountain peak. Normally, a cave abode would have a formation core. Once the core was refined, one would be able to control the entire cave abode. Therefore, Lu Yiping planned to look for the formation core in the barbarian dragon cave abode first. As for the other treasures in the cave abode, they were secondary. Lu Yiping activated the Eye of Lightning Punishment and began searching for the formation core. While Lu Yiping were searching for the formation core, an expert from the Sui clan discovered Lu Yiping's whereabouts and reported it to Sui Yukuan. Oh, he's heading southeast? Sui Yukuan's expression turned cold. He flew into the air and headed southeast. I will go alone. You guys continue to collect the treasures here. Also, pass down the order to seal the spatial entrance. I want him to be able to enter but not leave. This barbarian dragon cave will be the burial ground of this master and servant. Sui Yukuan's cold voice transmitted down from the clouds. The Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kueiwen, and the others respectfully acknowledged. A short moment later, in another direction of the barbarian dragon cave, a ray of light soared into the sky and flew towards the southeast. It was none other than the strongest ancestor of the Thousand Souls divine sect, Thousand Star Brilliance. Not long after, the old ancestor of the divine Snow Phoenix sect, who had received the news, led the sect master of the divine Snow Phoenix sect and other experts to fly towards the southeast. In the end, after learning that his son Jin Guanglia had been killed, the Golden Blade divine sect master led a group of experts and rushed towards the southeast. Lu Yiping has appeared. Lord Kueiwen, Lord Thousand Star Brilliance, Sect Master Snow Phoenix, Sect Master Golden Saber, and a group of Divine Snow Phoenix Sect and Golden Saber Sect experts are all here to kill Lu Yiping. When the Sun Moon Palace Master heard the news, he also rushed towards Lu Yiping's location. Soon, the news spread throughout the barbarian dragon cave, and many experts rushed towards Lu Yiping's location. Lu Yiping had 49 totems, and every single one of them was shockingly large. On top of that, he also had a 1,000,000 avatar. This news had already spread throughout the Brahma Moon continent. Therefore, experts from various forces wanted to see with their own eyes if Lu Yiping really had 49 totems, and if the totems were really that big, or if it was really a 1,000,000 avatar. At the same time, there were also people guessing if Lu Yiping's Heaven's Mandate was the same as his golden-haired subordinate, a peak level 13 Chaos Heaven's Mandate. There were even people guessing if Lu Yiping was a God Ancestor expert. If Lu Yiping was a God Ancestor expert, then how big was Lu Yiping's God domain? Was it 100,000 miles wide? Or was it the same as the barbarian dragon sovereign's God domain? However, even if Lu Yiping is a God Ancestor with a 1,000,000 miles wide God domain, he won't be able to escape from the barbarian dragon cave. The Sun Moon Palace Master shook his head. This was because the one besieging Lu Yiping this time was Sui Yukuan. It was the Thousand Star Brilliance. Two sovereigns. The Thousand Star Brilliance was a peak early-stage sovereign expert who had cultivated for 50 million years. Peak early-stage sovereigns like the Thousand Star Brilliance were famous in the divine world for tens of millions of years. Even in other mainlands, the mere mention of the Thousand Star Brilliance's name was enough to make people pale. Not to mention a God Ancestor, even if Lu Yiping is a paramount god, even if he has an invincible will, he won't be able to escape death. The Sun Moon Palace Master shook his head. An invincible will paramount god was said to be invincible below sovereigns. However, that was only true for paramount gods, god ancestors, god emperors, and master gods. Even an invincible will paramount god was fragile in front of a sovereign. If a sovereign wanted to kill a paramount god, it would be as easy as blowing away dust. The Rong family also received the news, and the Rong family's patriarch rushed over with their experts. Just as Sui Yukuan, the Thousand Star Brilliance, the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect, and the Golden Blade Divine Sect's experts rushed over, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao also received the news that Sui Yukuan, the Thousand Star Brilliance, the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect, and the Golden Blade Divine Sect were rushing over. With such a big commotion, it was impossible for the two of them not to know. Two sovereigns. Two decent ones have finally arrived. Taurus Longjiao laughed when he heard Huang Xiaolong's words. A bloodthirsty light flickered in his eyes as he said, "Master, leave Sui Yukuan and the Thousand Star Brilliance to me. I haven't warmed up in many years." Ever since he had secluded himself in the lower world's holy forest, he hadn't warmed up in the past million years. Lu Yiping smiled and nodded. He didn't mind Taurus Longjiao's words. He activated the Eye of Punishment and continued searching for the formation core. The barbarian dragon's cultivation dwelling was huge. With the barbarian dragon sovereign's methods, the formation core was hidden well. Even a late-stage sovereign realm expert would have a hard time finding it. Of course, this wasn't a problem for Lu Yiping. After searching for a while, Lu Yiping finally arrived at a large mountain. The formation core was inside this mountain. There were countless mountains inside the cultivation dwelling. The mountain in front of Huang Xiaolong was inconspicuous, but the Eye of Punishment could see through the surface of the mountain. There was a huge space inside the mountain. Inside this space, runes danced in the air, forming divine dragons. This was the barbarian dragon sovereign's strongest barbarian dragon divine formation. It was also one of the strongest divine formations in the divine world since ancient times. As long as Huang Xiaolong refined this barbarian dragon divine formation, he would be able to gain control of the barbarian dragon's cultivation dwelling. Just as Lu Yiping was about to enter the formation space, a boundless divine might rush towards them like a torrential sea. A figure sped across the horizon at shocking speed. It was none other than the Sui family's Sui Yukuan. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stopped in their tracks. When Sui Yukuan arrived, a sky full of stars appeared in another direction. It was as if heaven and earth had fallen into a boundless starry night. Under the dazzling starry sky, a figure appeared in the sky. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Thousand Star Brilliance. Chapter 377. When Sui Yukuan arrived, there was a faint shadow of a primordial divine beast behind him. This primordial divine beast was shaped like a qilin, exuding overwhelming pressure. "Nian beast," Taurus Longjiao said, looking at the shadow of the primordial divine beast behind Sui Yukuan. Nian beasts were comparable to qilins and true dragons among the myriad of beasts. However, Nian beasts were even rarer than qilins and true dragons. From the primordial era until now, Nian beasts had appeared less than 10 times in the divine world. Unlike the dragon race, although rare, one could still run into a few occasionally. This Sui Yukuan clearly had the Nian beast's bloodline. Compared to Sui Yukuan, Thousand Star Brilliance's aura was stronger. Stars floated around him, and there were faint images of astrological gods. These astrological gods were extremely powerful, no more, no less. There were a total of 108 of them. In the blink of an eye, Sui Yukuan and Thousand Star Brilliance arrived in front of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Seeing Thousand Star Brilliance, Sui Yukuan cupped his fists and greeted, "Brother Star Brilliance." Thousand Star Brilliance glanced at the shadow of the primordial divine beast behind Sui Yukuan and smiled. "Brother Yukuan's Nian beast bloodline has reached ancestral awakening?" Sui Yukuan smiled. "A few years ago, I found some heaven-splitting treasures, and with the help of these heaven-splitting treasures, I was lucky enough to reach ancestral awakening." "Congratulations, congratulations." Thousand Star Brilliance laughed. "Brother Yukuan's Nian beast bloodline has reached ancestral awakening, greatly increasing your battle power. I'm afraid I'm not Brother Yukuan's opponent." Sui Yukuan waved his hand and laughed. "My little bit of strength can't even be compared to Brother Star Brilliance." The two of them chatted merrily, treating Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao as heir. Perhaps, in their minds, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were turtles in a jar, and killing them was only a matter of time. There was no rush. While Sui Yukuan and Thousand Star Brilliance were chatting merrily, Another large group of experts flew over from afar. This group was the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect's experts, 3,000 to 4,000 people. Soon after, the Golden Blade Divine Sect's sect chief led the Golden Blade Divine Sect's experts over. This time, the Golden Blade Divine Sect did not send many people, only about 700 of them. Following the arrival of the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect and the Golden Saber Divine Sect, the Sun Moon Palace, the Rong family, the Brahma Moon Continent, the Ancient Devil Continent, and the other major continents' experts also hurried over. Greetings, Lord Sui, Lord Qian. The sect master of the Snow Phoenix Sect, the sect master of the Golden Saber Sect, the Sun Moon Imperial Hall, the patriarch of the Rong clan, and other experts were startled when they saw Yukuan and the Thousand-Star Brilliance. They hurried forward and bowed respectfully. In the face of Sui Yukuan and the Thousand-Star Brilliance, the Snow Phoenix Sect Master and the other paramount gods didn't dare to act rashly. Thousand-Star Brilliance looked at the Snow Phoenix Sect Chief, Golden Saber Sect Chief, and the others, nodding, "You're all here." He then turned to Golden Saber Sect Chief. "How is your ancestor? The last time I sparred with Brother Boyi, 1,000,000 years passed in the blink of an eye." The Golden Saber Sect Master quickly replied, "Grandfather is doing well. He often misses Lord Qian and says that if there is a chance, he would like to find Lord Qian to spar and discuss the Tao." Thousand-Star Brilliance laughed. "After this trip to the Barbarian Dragon Cavern, I'll make a trip to the Ancient Devil Continent." The Golden Saber Sect Master was delighted. The Golden Saber Sect awaits Lord Qian's arrival. Go to the Ancient Devil Continent? Taurus Longjiao stroked his golden hair. "Do you think you'll be able to leave the Barbarian Dragon Cavern?" Taurus Longjiao's words stunned everyone. Everyone turned to look at Taurus Longjiao. Sui Yukuan and Thousand-Star Brilliance also turned to look at Taurus Longjiao. "I can't leave the Barbarian Dragon Cavern?" Thousand-Star Brilliance laughed. "You talk big. From the sound of it, you intend to keep me here?" Taurus Longjiao took a step forward and said, "The two of you can attack together." Everyone was surprised. Sui Yukuan's face sank. "Why do the two of us need to kill you and your servant? I'll give you a chance to attack." His aura rose sharply. However, just as his aura rose, a figure flickered and appeared in front of Sui Yukuan. Sui Yukuan was shocked. Before he could react, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. It was as if he was hit by a terrifying hammer, and he was sent flying. Sui Yukuan's speed was too fast. When he was sent flying, he tore through space, creating shockwaves like a hurricane. Rumble! Sui Yukuan smashed through a mountain peak in the distance. Then, he continued to smash through mountain peak after mountain peak. After smashing through countless mountain peaks, Sui Yukuan finally came to a stop. Dust and sand billowed in the sky. Thunderous booms resounded in the air. Thousand-Star Brilliance was stunned. The Snow Phoenix Sect Master, Golden Saber Sect Master, and the other experts were dumbfounded. They looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock. The one who attacked was none other than Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao sent Sui Yukuan flying with a punch. His expression was calm as he said, "Early Sovereign Realm, nothing more than this." Although Sui Yukuan was a Sovereign Realm expert, it had only been several million years since he broke through to Sovereign Realm. Thousand-Star Brilliance looked at Taurus Longjiao with a solemn expression. His body was tense, and it was obvious that he was very nervous. Taurus Longjiao looked at the tense Thousand-Star Brilliance, and he slowly walked over. "Make your move." Thousand-Star Brilliance took a deep breath and circulated his god force. The starlight around him grew brighter and brighter as the 108 gods of astrology condensed and grew larger. In the end, each of the 108 gods of astrology was close to 10,000 zhang tall. Thousand-Star Brilliance punched out. Following his punch, the 108 astral gods punched out at the same time. Waves of starlight surged out, shattering heaven and earth, as if they wanted to drown the entire Barbarian Dragon Manor. The sky was shaking. The earth was crumbling. The surrounding mountain peaks crumbled, turning into dust. At the same time, shocking wills covered the sky, attacking Taurus Longjiao from all directions. A Sovereign Realm expert's will was undoubtedly more terrifying than a paramount god's will. Looking at the surging waves of starlight, Taurus Longjiao casually punched out, and millions of divine dragons flew out. These divine dragons formed a strange dragon formation. World Dragon Formation Fist. Thousand Star Brilliance's expression changed when he saw Taurus Longjiao's punch. Who are you to the Lord of the Dragon World? Among the myriad of worlds, the Immortal World, Divine World, Dragon World, Devil World, Monster World, Devil World, and Ghost World were the strongest. The Lord of the Dragon World's status was comparable to the barbarian dragon sovereign of the Divine World. This World Dragon Formation Fist was one of the Lord of the Dragon World's secret techniques. Thousand Star Brilliance's exclamation shocked the Golden Saber Sect Master, Snow Phoenix Sect Master, Sun Moon Palace Master, and the other experts. What? This is the Lord of the Dragon World's World Dragon Formation Fist? Could this Golden Retriever be the successor of the Lord of the Dragon World? The Golden Saber Sect Master and Snow Phoenix Sect Master were even more shocked. The Lord of the Dragon World was the ruler of an entire world. Even if the Golden Saber Sect and Snow Phoenix Sect also had sovereigns, in front of an existence like the Lord of the Dragon World, they were nothing more than ants. Amidst everyone's shock, the World Dragon Formation Fist instantly pierced through Thousand Star Brilliance's starlight waves and sent him flying with lightning speed. Even if Thousand Star Brilliance managed to open the Star God World in the end, it was useless. As for Thousand Star Brilliance's sovereign realm will, when it slammed into Taurus Longjiao's Soul Sea, it didn't even cause the slightest ripple in Taurus Longjiao's Soul Sea. Chapter 378. Taurus Longjiao sent the Thousand Star Brilliance flying with the World Dragon Formation Fist. In a single step, he appeared above the Thousand Star Brilliance. Just as Taurus Longjiao was about to punch the Thousand Star Brilliance into the ground, the rocks in the distance exploded, and a figure rushed out, arriving behind Taurus Longjiao in the blink of an eye. An astonishing fist force was aimed at Taurus Longjiao's back. Taurus Longjiao did not retaliate. Light surged from his body, and dragon scales appeared in the space around him. These dragon scales were tightly linked together, becoming one with the surrounding space, forming a dragon barrier. The astonishing power of the fist slammed into the dragon scale barrier, and with a loud bang the dragon scale barrier did not budge, and the person who had attacked was sent tumbling back. The attacker was Sueyu Kuan. Sueyu Kuan was sent flying. Looking at the dragon scale barrier, he exclaimed, "Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier! Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier!" Golden Saber Sect Chief, Snow Phoenix Sect Chief, Sun Moon Palace Master, and other experts were shocked. The Ancestral Dragon was the ancestor of all dragons in the myriad of worlds. He was also the master of the Dragon World's Lord. The Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier was the Ancestral Dragon's supreme defensive technique. It was said that even the Dragon World's Lord was unable to learn the Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier. However, Lu Yiping's subordinate knew the Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier. Taurus Longjiao took Sueyu Kuan's punch and turned around. Sueyu Kuan's expression changed. The Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier was the Dragon Clan's strongest defensive technique. Forget him, even if 100 of him joined hands, they wouldn't be able to break this barrier. Sueyu Kuan looked at Taurus Longjiao with regret in his heart. Not only did this Golden Retriever know the World Dragon Formation Fist, but he also knew the Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier. He must be related to the Dragon World's Lord. Although Sui Tai was the Sui family's most monstrous genius, it wasn't worth offending the Dragon World's Lord for him. More importantly, this Golden Retriever's strength was terrifying. Also, Lu Yiping was the owner of the Golden Retriever. What was his identity? At this time, Thousand Star Brilliance also broke through the air from under the rubble. The battered Thousand Star Brilliance looked at Taurus Longjiao with shock, fear, and suspicion. Clearly, like Sueyu Kuan, he was trying to guess the identities of Taurus Longjiao and Lu Yiping. Taurus Longjiao looked at Sueyu Kuan and the Thousand Star Dazzle, stroking the meticulous Golden Retriever. The Golden Retriever shone brighter and brighter. Attack together. It's been a long time since someone played with me. Everyone choked. Let the two sovereigns play with him? Could it be that this Golden Retriever guy was just playing around? Yu Kuan and Thousand Star Brilliance's expressions turned ugly. Thousand Star Brilliance hesitated for a moment, then cupped his fists and asked, May I know your name? What is your relationship with the Lord of the Dragon World? However, just as his words fell, Taurus Longjiao raised his hand to the sky. Above the blue dome of heaven, endless divine lightning poured down, bombarding thousand-star brilliance. Looking at the endless divine lightning pouring down on him, thousand-star brilliance thought of a secret art comparable to the world dragon formation fist. The Lord of the Lightning World, lightning shaking the 9 worlds. The Lightning World was one of the strongest worlds among the myriad of worlds. The Lord of the Lightning World had a status comparable to the Lord of the Dragon World. Thousand-star brilliance's face was filled with fear as he frantically tried to escape. However, the endless divine lightning completely covered the space around him, leaving him nowhere to run. Following a loud rumble, thousand-star brilliance was once again smashed into the ground by the endless divine lightning. The endless divine lightning continued to bombard the ground even after thousand-star brilliance was smashed into the ground. Dust billowed from the ground, and rocks were sent flying for miles. Everyone was stunned. Looking at Taurus Longjiao, the fear in Sui Yukuan's heart grew stronger. What was the identity of this golden retriever? First, he knew the Lord of the Dragon World's World Dragon Formation Fist, then the Ancestral Dragon's immovable barrier, and now the Lord of the Lightning World's lightning shaking the 9 worlds. Could it be that he had a close relationship with the Lord of the Lightning World? Just as he was about to speak, he suddenly saw endless divine lightning falling from the blue dome of heaven. Just as Sui Yukuan reacted, he was smashed into the ground by the endless divine lightning, just like thousand-star brilliance. Divine thunder rolled, and the sound of thunder continued for a long time. The ground trembled, collapsing piece by piece. The power of lightning swept across, causing everyone to flee in horror. Fleeing far away, the experts of Golden Saber Divine Sect, Snow Phoenix Divine Sect, Sun Moon Palace, and Rong family trembled as they looked at the endless divine lightning. Especially the experts from Golden Saber Divine Sect and Snow Phoenix Divine Sect Zhongzhong, who had planned to kill Lu Yiping and Thousand-Star Brilliance. Their faces were drained of blood. They wanted to run, but their feet were pressed down by mountains, making it hard for them to move. Looking at Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan, who were smashed into the ground by the violent lightning, an expert stammered, "Lord Thousand-Star Brilliance and Lord Sui, they wouldn't be dead, right?" This was because they couldn't sense Thousand-Star Brilliance and Lord Sui Yukuan's aura under the violent lightning energy. Taurus Longjiao's hands reached out, pulling Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan out from the ground. Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan's faces were beyond recognition. They looked like 2 charred bodies, charred black, and their pores were spewing out lightning. The golden bull with dragon horn looked at the 2 of them and punched them again, sending them flying. Then it pulled them back and punched them again, sending them flying again. Then it pulled them back and punched them again. Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan were being used as practice targets by Taurus Longjiao, Golden Saber Divine Sect Master, Snow Phoenix Sect Master, and the rest of the experts' minds went blank. They were speechless. After more than a dozen times, Lu Yiping finally spoke, "Enough, stop playing around. There are more important matters, kill them." "Yes, Master." Taurus Longjiao finally stopped and answered. Earlier, no one thought much of it, but now, hearing Taurus Longjiao calling Lu Yiping Master, everyone's hearts were shaken. Anyone could tell that Taurus Longjiao was a late-stage sovereign, or even a peak late-stage sovereign, yet he still called Lu Yiping Master. What was Lu Yiping's strength? Taurus Longjiao's god force circulated in his body. Streaks of lightning shot out from his eyes as he punched Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan's bodies. Bang! 2 loud explosions sounded at almost the same time. Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan's bodies exploded with lightning, and they were sent flying all the way to the horizon. However, Taurus Longjiao smiled wryly and said to Lu Yiping, "Master, it's better if you do it." Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan were lying on the horizon, barely breathing. They were still alive. Although he was a peak late-stage sovereign and could kill Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan, it would take him a lot of effort. Therefore, if he wanted to kill Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan in one strike, Lu Yiping would be the one to do it. Lu Yiping took a step forward, arriving in front of Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan. Light flickered above his head, and layers of auspicious clouds bloomed. This is an auspicious cloud. Sage, he's a Tao-confirming sage. Seeing the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head, Sect Master Golden Saber turned pale with fright. Chapter 379. Not only Sect Master Golden Saber, but the Snow Phoenix Sect Master, Sun Moon Palace Master, and Rong family's patriarch also paled when they saw the cloud above Lu Yiping's head. Plop! The Snow Phoenix Sect Master, Sun Moon Palace Master, and Rong family's patriarch all knelt down. Tens of thousands of experts knelt down, causing the ground to shake. Even when they saw Taurus Longjiao's terrifying strength, they didn't kneel. But now they all knelt down, forming a dark mass. Thousand-Star Brilliance and Yukuan, who were lying on the ground on the verge of death, struggled to open their eyes when they heard the crowd's exclamations. When they saw the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head through the gaps in their eyes, they were shocked. A saint. So he's a saint. Thousand-Star Brilliance muttered to himself. Suddenly, all the resentment and unwillingness in his heart vanished. Instead, a serene smile appeared on his face. This was the smile of an honor to be able to die in the hands of a saint. With the cloud above Lu Yiping's head, the cauldron of heaven and earth appeared in his hand. Cauldron of heaven and earth. You're the saint of heaven and earth from the exalted immortal world. Thousand-Star Brilliance hissed when he saw the cauldron in Lu Yiping's hand. Lu Yiping's expression didn't change when he heard this. In the ancient times, he and Taurus Longjiao had roamed the myriad worlds. Many experts thought that he was from the exalted immortal world. Lu Yiping slammed the cauldron of heaven and earth in his hand. The cauldron carried layers of Saint Qi as it slammed into Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Yukuan. Dong! The barbarian dragon cave trembled. All the experts who were searching for treasures in the cave felt the terrifying power of this attack. They all looked in Lu Yiping's direction with fear. The group of Sui family's experts who were happily collecting the treasures stopped as well, looking at Lu Yiping with fear in their eyes. It's from the southeast. Lord Patriarch, do you think it's the old ancestor and the others? One of the Sui family's old ancestors stuttered. Sui Kuewen said, don't worry, the old ancestor has been in the sovereign realm for millions of years. His sovereign realm has long since stabilized. Nothing will happen to the old ancestor. Just now, the old ancestor and Lord Thousand-Star Glory should have joined forces to kill Lu Yiping and his servant. The experts of the Sui family nodded. Right at this moment, Sui Kuewen's communication talisman vibrated. Feeling strange, Sui Kuewen took it out to take a look. When he saw the contents of the communication talisman, Sui Kuewen's face paled. Shock, astonishment, grief and even despair filled his face. Ancestor! Sui Kuewen shouted and suddenly knelt down, crying bitterly. The dignified clan lord of the Sui clan, a paramount god with near-invincible will, burst into tears. The Sui clan is finished. Sui Kuewen screamed hoarsely as if he were possessed. The experts of the Sui family were stunned. They were at a loss for what to do when their patriarch suddenly knelt down. At the same time, they felt a burst of panic in their hearts. Is the Sui family finished? What did he mean? Could it be? The old ancestor of the Sui family couldn't help but ask Sui Kuewen nervously. Lord Patriarch, the old ancestor, who is he? Sui Kuewen didn't answer. The old ancestor picked up the communication talisman from the ground and looked at it. His body stiffened. A Tao-confirming saint. The heaven and earth saint of the great Luo immortal world. His eyes were filled with fear as he slumped to the ground. At the scene, the cauldron of heaven and earth struck Thousand-Star Glory and Sui Yukuan. The two were directly blasted into the ground, and the ground around them caved in. It was as if a deep abyss had appeared out of nowhere. Earth chi spewed out, and dust flew and rolled down. The cauldron of heaven and earth flew back to Lu Yiping's hand. Lu Yiping didn't look at Thousand-Star Glory and Sui Yukuan. Instead, he looked at the experts of the Golden Saber Divine Sect and the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect. The experts of the Golden Saber Divine Sect and the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect were kneeling on the ground with fear on their faces. There was no need for Lu Yiping to make a move. Taurus Longjiao's sky pillar swept across them, and the experts of the Golden Saber Divine Sect and the Snow Phoenix Divine Sect disappeared without a trace. Liu Yiping looked at the Sun Moon Palace Master, Rong family's patriarch, and the others who had come to watch the show. The Sun Moon Palace Master and Rong family's patriarch lowered their heads, trembling. Retrieving the cauldron of heaven and earth, Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao turned around and passed through the mountain peak, entering the space inside the barbarian dragon formation. After a long time, the Sun Moon Palace Master, Rong family's patriarch, and the others finally dared to raise their heads when they saw that Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had already left. Only then did they dare to breathe a sigh of relief. A gust of cold wind blew over and they felt cold. A short while later, after confirming that Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were no longer around, the group left in fear and trepidation. When they left, no one dared to make the slightest noise. When Liu Yiping arrived at the space inside the barbarian dragon formation, he was immediately attacked by the divine dragons formed by the formation's runes. These divine dragons surged over like a tidal wave. Their attacks were so strong that even sovereign realm experts like Yu Kuan and the Thousand-Star Brilliance couldn't withstand them. However, Liu Yiping only needed to casually point his finger, and these divine dragons were repelled. Liu Yiping opened his palm and froze these divine dragons in place. With a flick of his finger, runes filled the sky and entered these divine dragons' bodies. It didn't take long for these divine dragons to become obedient, and they swam happily around Liu Yiping. After Liu Yiping took control of the barbarian dragon formation, his divine sense seeped into the formation's eye. Every corner of the cultivation dwelling was clearly imprinted in his mind. Without further ado, Liu Yiping activated the barbarian dragon formation. In the blink of an eye, the barbarian dragon cave space lit up, flooding every corner like a tidal wave. Wherever the light passed, all the treasure-seeking experts in the cavern were sent flying out of the cavern space. After the experts from the Brahma Moon continent, Ancient Devil continent, and other continents were sent out of the barbarian dragon cave, Liu Yiping closed the entrance to the cultivation dwelling, then sat down cross-legged and began refining the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc. Many of the experts who were sent out of the cultivation dwelling were puzzled. What happened? How did we get out? A commotion broke out. A formation expert muttered, "Someone found the cultivation dwelling's formation eye and has already refined it. Everyone was sent out of the cultivation dwelling. I heard that Lord Thousand-Star Brilliance and Lord Suikoan are dead," someone said in a low voice. How is that possible? Where did you hear that?" Many experts were filled with disbelief. Because the Sun Moon Palace and Rong family's experts did not spread the news after they left, many experts in the cultivation dwelling were unaware of Thousand-Star Brilliance and Sui Kuewen's deaths. Liu Yiping didn't know about the discussions going on outside. After refining the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc, he didn't leave the cultivation dwelling immediately. Instead, he stayed inside the cultivation dwelling to comprehend the grand Tao contained in the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc. Other than the first piece of the fortune jade disc that contained 1,000 grand Tao, the other pieces all contain 100 grand Tao. This 8th piece of the fortune jade disc also contained 100 grand Tao. Red Moon City, True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Xie Yun was astounded looking at the message in his communication talisman. Liu Yiping is a Tao-confirming saint? The saint of heaven and earth. Suddenly, his communication talisman vibrated. It was a message from the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce headquarters. Chapter 380. The message from the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's headquarters was for him to make preparations to attend the True Dragon Conference. A super chamber of commerce like the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce would hold a True Dragon Conference every 100 years, gathering all branches' presidents to attend. Xie Yun sucked in a deep breath after reading the contents of the message. With trembling hands, he began to write down everything that happened in the barbarian dragon cave. Xie Yun carefully checked every word, and only after confirming that there were no problems did he send the message to the higher-ups. When Xie Yun told the higher-ups about what happened in the barbarian dragon cave, the higher-ups quickly passed it to the higher-ups, and the higher-ups passed it to the higher-ups, and finally to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's headquarters president. The True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's headquarters president Xie Chuhan was chatting with the Heaven Divination cult's patriarch, Wu Yang, about the barbarian dragon ruler's death, the divine world's lack of a ruler, and the chaotic battle between various forces. Suddenly, he received a message from one of his subordinates. Looking at the flickering message talisman, Xie Chuhan frowned. The subordinate should know that he was meeting with Wu Yang. Why would he send a message to disturb him? Wu Yang saw the flickering message talisman in Xie Chuhan's hand and put down his teacup, smiling. President Xie, since it's a message talisman from one of your subordinates, you can take a look. It should be an urgent matter. Xie Chuhan nodded with a smile and apologized. He then took out the message talisman and opened it. Reading the message talisman, Xie Chuhan's eyes widened in shock, and his breathing quickened. Watching Xie Chuhan's reaction, Wu Yang felt strange and asked, President Xie, what's the matter? What matter could make Xie Chuhan, the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's president, so shocked? Xie Chuhan didn't conceal anything and passed the message talisman to Wu Yang. After all, with the Heaven Divination cult's influence, it wouldn't take long for them to find out about the barbarian dragon cave on the Fanua continent. Wu Yang doubtfully received the message talisman, and when he read it, he reacted the same way as Xie Chuhan, unable to conceal the shock on his face. The heavenly saint has appeared? Wu Yang felt his heart thumping madly. Several million years ago, the heavenly saint had appeared in the divine world. As the Heaven Divination cult's patriarch, he had a deep memory of this matter. Xie Chuhan took a deep breath and did her best to suppress the excitement in her heart. She stood up and sighed with emotion. I wonder if the heaven and earth saint's appearance in the God realm is a blessing or a curse. To many experts of the God world upper realm, the God world meant the upper realm. 100 years passed in the cave of the barbarian dragon. In the past 100 years, Lu Yiping had been sitting cross-legged under the tree of creation, comprehending the good fortune jade disc and cultivating the immortal skywood technique. Jianshu had already grown to more than 230,000 meters. With the help of Jianshu's qi of heaven and earth and the qi of great Tao, Lu Yiping had almost fully comprehended the 8th jade plate of good fortune in the past 100 years. As for the immortal skywood art, it had already broken through to the 8th level. Back then, when Qian Xingyao and Sui Yukuan died, the Fanua continent was shaken. But after 100 years, the matter of the barbarian dragon cave gradually calmed down. Other than the occasional expert mentioning the matter, it was no longer as shocking as it was 100 years ago. On this day, while Lu Yiping was cultivating, he received a message from Xie Yun from the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Moreover, for millions of years, Taurus Longjiao had swallowed many good things and obtained many great opportunities by following him. Taurus Longjiao's accumulation was almost there. No matter how difficult it is to become a saint, I won't give up. Taurus Longjiao's eyes shone brightly, and he said, I will do my best to follow in Master's footsteps. He suddenly added, after becoming a saint, the golden retriever on my head will shine even brighter. Lu Yiping was speechless. One day later, the two of them arrived at the Azure Luan sect. The founder of the Azure Luan sect was a divine beast Azure Luan, so it was named the Azure Luan sect. When they arrived at the mountain gate of the Azure Luan sect, the disciples guarding the gate stopped Lu Yiping and asked what the two of them were doing. Is Elder Yu Zhe of the Azure Luan sect here? Lu Yiping said, I have something to ask him. Or you can ask your sect master to come out. Speaking of this, he casually pointed his finger. A dong-dong wave-like column blasted into a mountain in the distance, piercing through it. After piercing through dozens of mountains, the dong-dong wave-like column flew out of the 39th mountain. The disciples guarding the Azure Barbarian sect were stunned. They were shocked and hurriedly reported it to their superiors. After a while, a large group of masters of the Azure Luan sect flew out of the sect. There were tens of thousands of them. The leader was the sect master of the Azure Luan sect, a peak late-stage god ancestor. Zhongzhong of the Azure Luan sect soon arrived. The sect master of the Azure Luan sect looked at Lu Yiping in confusion. He had never seen this blue-robed young man before, but he felt a sense of familiarity. You're tuning into the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.